Hello, everybody. Can you even see me? Oh,
Hello, can you hear me?
I can. It's StreamYard is gonna be the death of me. Hang on, sweetie. Let me put the clip back. Wow, that was fun. How's everybody doing? How you doing, Jasmine?
Hi, how are you?
Good. I'm gonna shoot StreamYard. I'm about to quit using them. Oh my god.
Is there still 2 streams going?
No,
Is
I've
it
only
just
got one going, but usually you can see people in the chat, you can see the numbers of people, and then you add yourself to the stage. I couldn't even add us to the stage, so that's why the screen went blank. I couldn't get the screen to move. There was no numbers showing up.
it
So
seems like a nightmare. I don't
for,
want to join.
for the amount they charge you, it's absolutely nuts. How's everybody in the chat doing? How's everybody? It's snowing there? Oh, Donna. So I think Zach's gonna come and join us in a little bit. How you doing, Jasmine, by the way?
Good. How are you doing? How was your
Um,
weekend?
my weekend was great. He's on his way, Denise, honey. He got the times mixed up with the time exchange, so he's on his way. He'll be in like 10-15 minutes. Is it your birthday?
It's my birthday tomorrow, so we're a day early.
Happy birthday tomorrow.
Thank you.
If I don't see you tomorrow. Oh, you're Scorpion almost. Almost a Scorpion. You're on the
Uh,
cusp. You're a cusp baby.
oh, I am a Scorpio
Oh,
through and
you are?
through. Yeah.
Is it not? What I thought it was the 20th, the changeover.
I think it is. So it's the 19th tomorrow.
Yeah, okay, but you're Scorpio personality.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'd definitely be more of a Scorpio than a Sagittarius. I wouldn't be that outgoing, I suppose.
Yeah, I'm Saggy. Can you
Yeah,
tell?
definitely. You're so outgoing. I can
It's like
tell.
you can tell the fireys.
Yeah, but it's
Donna.
probably why we get on so well because we're very close
Yeah,
with the
yeah,
birth month.
exactly. And I love your energy. Oh my God, I love your energy. You guys are just the calm that I need. Yeah, and if you look at my Vedic chart, it's like Aries. So the fire, the fire when I show up the other day, like that's totally fire. Donna, what are you? Are you Scorpio or Saggy? Yeah, anyway. So how was your time with your dads?
Good, good.
Was good?
It'd just be nice to get a break from my house and my cats to go down to my dad and his cat. His cat is more demanding than mine because he's
Okay.
spoiled.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, it's nice. I had a good time too. My grandkids exhaust me, and I think I got something from them that was like they're always in daycare, right? They always get exposed to stuff, and
Yeah, it's the
I just
season
get
now.
I get sick so easy. Oh, you're Scorpio too, honey. Yeah. Scorpio's hard sign to have as well.
Yeah, it's not easy. Isn't that right, Donna? All the Scorpios here tonight.
Yeah. 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 Oh, wow, you're so Scorpio too. Oh, it's the
Oh, it's the
19th, says little
19th in
yeah.
Australia. Oh, thank you, Sharon. Celebrate for me.
I know. Oh, Lisa's like it's 72 in Alabama. Oh, I wish it was warm here, man. Yeah. Anyway, I 5 new messages. Is that all from you and Zach coming in? I'll just
I'm not
ignore them.
sure. I sent one just saying I'm on, but I'm not sure if Zach got back to us or not in the thread.
Yeah, he's like, "I'll be there at, like, something or another." It's 4 3 something because he got confused with the time change. Because poor Zach, I interrupted his live because I've had no sleep. None. I have the
Oh,
weirdest thing. Maybe you can tap into what's going on with me. I've had it happen to me for years now, and I couldn't get back to sleep, and then the people below me were fucking again in the middle of the night, and all I can hear is the floor vibrating. It's like an every night occurrence. The 2 neighbors downstairs, she has a boyfriend, and she must have a key because I can hear her going in, and then the whole floor rocks, and it's like, "Oh my fucking god." Like,
there's nothing worse. At least they're your neighbors. It's worse when it's family members, I
That's true.
think.
That's true. But I yesterday I cried. I literally cried. I didn't so I've just to let my chat know, I'll just update them for a second, Jazz. I
Of
promised I
course.
would do videos on readings and I've just been too exhausted. I've barely slept in the last month. I don't know what's going on. If anybody else has been having a hard time sleeping, with this retrograde energy. But for Sagittarius, it's like we have like 6 or 7 planets in retrograde right now. And holy sugar, I can't sleep. But last night, it's first started to me when it was at my dad's actually. The month I was approved for the Find Me group in 2018. And it's the grossest thing I've ever experienced as a channeler, as a medium. And I don't know how to stop it. And I have messaged all of my mentors on how to stop this. The first time was the absolute worst. I was standing in Florida in my dad's living room, and I get all these crossovers, like people who've just crossed over and passed, and they're using my body and coming into it thinking that's the way to the light. And it's the most horrible feeling. I feel violated. It's gross. I don't welcome it, and I cannot stop them. So I'm standing in Florida, and I literally can feel all these energies coming into my body. Well, since then, it's happened maybe 10 times. And last night I got up at 3:40. I had to go to the bathroom, and I come back down, I lay down, and I can smell their scent, and they're right in my face. And I'm like, and then the next thing you know, I can literally feel their energy in their body. And I was like, kind of smelled like my dad. And they were like in my heart chakra. So I was like, is this you, dad? But ultimately, I don't think it was. And it's yeah, Sharon. And I've asked all my mentors, I've emailed everybody, like, how do I stop this? Like, it's one thing if you're awake, but the minute I went to lay down, it was like entered my body, boom. Like I was barely, it didn't even have my eyes closed. It's the most, I don't know. Have you ever heard of that before, Jasmine? Because I don't welcome it, and it's not something I really want to have happen. And I couldn't
It,
sleep after that.
it sounds like some sort of paranormal insomnia. So when it's happened before, have you managed to shift the energy or cleanse it? If you feel like it's a negative one, just even say the Our Father or something like that.
Well, it's
Because I
just to get
do
them from
wake up
coming out of my
sometimes.
body. It's that they come into
Yeah.
my body. It's like, I don't know. I literally had to say, "No, turn around," and then I could feel this energy. It was a man coming out of my body slowly, but it took like 10 minutes, and then
Yeah.
I'm so weirded out I can't sleep.
Yeah, it's like you're such a conduit that they don't realize that they can't have your body. They just need to use your voice as theirs. So it's
It's
kind of like an overstepping of the boundaries
yes,
spiritually.
1,000%, and I was like, I know, Sharon, I'm gonna have to do more honey before bed or something because that is wild to me, like, in the middle of the night. Like, that was wild to me last night in the middle of the night. So, yeah, I
Do
don't
you think
know.
it could be any of the cases even that you're tapping into? Because sometimes spirits or energies are a lot more persistent or demanding even than others.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so. I think it's totally unrelated to the cases.
And it happened first a few years ago.
In 2018, it started the month when I was literally in Florida, the month I got approved for the Find Me group, August 2018, when all this stuff happened with my dad, and I had to go back to Florida with him to detox him. and he had almost died in the hospital, and he was supposed to appear for court for my mom and him, and then he ended up in emergency, almost died from alcohol detox, and was told the lawyers and doctors and everything said he wasn't fit to go to court the next day, and that's when the lawyers ignored my POA and didn't show up to court and had him sign everything. And he had dementia, of course. And so I took him back to detox him because the cleaning lady, my mom's cleaning lady of 15 years, was keeping him drunk, and he had dementia, so he couldn't even remember what he was drinking. So when I got him out of the hospital after he almost died, he was drinking 60 ounces of vodka a day, a whole bottle of vodka a day, so on ice. So that's when it started, when I was down in Florida dealing with this. And there's a lot of negative energy around there. So I don't know. I know, Anne. I know. It's the most disgusting feeling. I've just never had it happen when I'm half asleep before. And it really was unnerving because I was like, how many times is this happening when I'm sleeping? Like I couldn't sleep. I was,
Wow.
so yeah, anyway, white light yourself, Liane. I know. And I've been in a shit mood this week with the whole RCMP thing. And I cried last night, and I was in a negative mood over this whole thing because anyway, I don't want to. The last thing I'm going to say about this RCMP thing is I cried for Jack and Lily yesterday because that guy that called me was not the guy you want looking for missing kids. I don't think the guy had kids. I think he was in his 30s. He was rude. He was arrogant as fuck. And he was trying to persuade me with like, "Oh, you didn't get ignored, biatch," kind of tone, like you're making a fucking mountain. And then everything he said that I proved wrong, he would come at me with a different argument. I'm like, dude, you just called, like, you didn't even call to try to find out what I had to say. You just called to talk me into feeling like I was a piece of shit, that I was wrong. And everything you said was wrong about what I did. And I literally sat last night. I was like, you guys, I don't want to say this and have you come at me. But when Daniel was like, dude, you don't even know the facts of the case. Like, that's exactly how I felt. Dude, you don't even know the fucking facts. And you're telling me, and you've just proven to me you have not a fucking clue who I am. First of all, you thought I was American. Okay. And it's like, you don't even have a fucking clue. And you're trying to convince me you're all on top of it. Like it was a joke. And it fueled me because I don't think these RCMP have a fucking clue. Their ass from their toes, from their head. Sorry, but we're going to show a video today. I'm not the only one who thinks so. Can-Am Missing Persons. The guy is a retired 40-year veteran of law enforcement and runs Can-Am Missing Persons, much like Kelly Snyder. And he's been speaking quite eloquently on the Jack and Lily case, and he believes the RCMP completely effed this up, including his video this morning about the latest search. So it's not just me, RCMP. There's other professionals out there who think you guys frigged this up royally, and that's all I'm going to say about them. Oh, yeah, they're good at gaslighting, absolutely. Aw, sweetie, thank you. Thank you, honey. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, they are good at gaslighting, and I mean, I'm not from Canada,
Yeah,
but from the cases that I've covered or even just heard about from Canada, I haven't heard of the RCMP solving any of them. If anything, I just suspect corruption in some of them. So there's
yeah.
that. Seems
Did you
like gaslighting is what they're
yeah.
better at than solving
Well,
crimes.
when I grew up, gaslit, like I had two professional therapists tell me I was in the scapegoating family, which I was. So it's like I feel gaslighting, like corporate gaslighting, the second you say hello. Like I know I can feel your energy. And that was exactly what he was trying to do, is intimidation. It was, how dare you, biatch. We are all over it. And they started arguing me about time frames and the fact that I called the tip line. And that's what we do in Canada. No, you don't in Canada. I am Canadian, you little shit for brains. Missing persons do not get rewards in Canada. I have
Yeah.
never seen it. So that's how we do it in Canada. See, the thing is, I have my YouTube channel under US because just like Pinterest, you can decide if you want your channel promoted. And I was advised that it's better exposure to put your country of origin from the US. So this guy called me on a Canadian phone number, but that's how much research he's done. He has no knowledge that
And
I'm
if he listened
Canadian.
to your videos, he'd be able to tell by the accent.
Well,
So
this is
supposedly they watch all the videos, and that's bullshit because there's so many videos now, whether that be just people
yeah,
reporting or tarot or whatever. It's so convoluted now, and so many people are on the case, they couldn't
yeah.
possibly watch all of the videos.
Oh, I agree. And the thing is that's so interesting is the news story says they've watched 8,000 videos. And it's like, yeah, you've probably watched the 8,000 videos that people have sent you as tips. I'll give you that. But if you're trying to disprove me and you're trying to show that I'm wrong, you might not want to lie and tell things that aren't true in that conversation. Like I've called the tip line. I called the tip line and spoke to Mike Wilson once and was given his cell phone number and his email address. In fact, I was texting him at first and he's like, Liane, you got to email me because these videos, these photos won't come through my text. And that guy actually even admitted it yesterday in the call, but he was stuck on, we can't solve crimes with psychics because we can't get a court order. I'm like, dude, that's not even the point. I'm not asking you to solve the crime with a psychic information. Clearly, a judge is going to go, no. But what I was hoping you would do is listen to my common sense and the piecemeals that I gave you, the little nuggets that might give you a different avenue you would explore. And then it was like, well, we already looked at it. Mike was already on the case at the time. No, he wasn't. That's hence why I got Chad's email, you dickwad. Like, it was so bullshit. I was like, you wasted my fucking time. And it's just, I was told by Chad they were going to call to ask me questions about my video, about my theory. And this guy at the end, because he couldn't make a straight comment with me that I didn't diffuse as bullshit. At the end, his resolution was, well, we just don't believe your we don't believe your theory. I said, yeah, you still think the kids walked out the back door. Even the CEO of the Please Bring Me Home group said on the media today he didn't think the kids walked out the back door.
Yeah.
And, and it's so annoying because I want to talk about this more today. Even the fact that they allowed Malaya and Daniel in that search to confirm that those clothes were not Jack and Lily's. How do you trust the word of the suspects? And as far as I know, in every missing child case, there's a 90% probability it's family. And why would you trust family? Because they're still on the narrative that the kids walked out the door and they're either lazy or incompetent. But this guy we're going to watch today, a professional, thinks they should have been tested for DNA specialists. What if the person that took those kids out of the house put them in different clothing?
Yeah.
They didn't freaking even test them. They didn't even test them. They just said, oh, mom says she doesn't recognize them. Oh, okay. Well, you guys really ought to get your investigation skills out now because, like, everybody and all the professionals think you guys have bundled this up. And you better hope Belinda and Cindy don't come after the RCMP because I know Cindy's going after CPS because you guys deserve to have yourselves investigated in this case. Sorry, not sorry, you fucking do. Because if you think there's any excuse justifying to take a tip person off the tip emails for a month ongoing and then try to prove to me in the call yesterday you were on top of it when clearly you weren't, you exposed yourself. I was a business coach. I know systems, and your system is broken. Not to mention your arrogance and your egos, but your systems are broken, and you fucked that up.
They
So,
should be grateful for any tips that are coming in, especially because they're so clueless.
well,
Because
this
it seems like it's two theories they were working off was the kids wandering off, and then the one that said to Daniel they thought he killed the kids. But even then, they have no evidence to even prove either theory that they're working off. So the
no,
fact they're not open to others, it means that they're willing to let the case go unsolved so they won't be wrong. And that's such a
yeah.
shame in any case.
Well, that's the point. Their ego is too big for them. And when I emailed Kelly Snyder of the Find Me group, I think I told you about him, Jasmine. He's the
Yeah.
founder of the Find Me group that I volunteer for. I asked him to come up on the panel and he was debating it. And he's like, at the end of the day, I got too much going on, Liane, I can't. But I told him, I said, look, at the Please Bring Me Home would only let our RCMP would only let police bring me home, search the water. And he was like, they will never, in big letters, never change the RCMP. And he's worked with them countless times in Canada on cases. And he just finds the same thing. They're very old school, they're very politically driven, and they're across the country. They've got a bigger mandate than anybody, and they're the most useless tits on the earth. So sorry, not sorry. It's disgusting. And the fact that he called me with the arrogance, like they just he doesn't give a flying F if those kids are found. I, at least when Chad called me, I felt like a little bit of better. And when I spoke with Mike, I definitely felt better. But this guy had like he's got his own life. Like this is just his job. Like, but he's got the energy of the kind of cop that would be like the ones that took the bats to the people protesting in Ottawa. Like I literally felt that from him. He's really just a scumbag. And it's not so weird that it was Chad who suggested it was he that called me. The guy trying to cover his ass doesn't give me somebody else like little more neutral. It's like his buddy calling me into his defense. You know what I mean? It was that kind of tone. And it wasn't cool. It definitely wasn't cool. And I might call the mayor. I might call the mayor.
Yeah,
Um,
because it seems like as the evidence is progressing, that these theories, and and I hadn't even followed you at the time when the kids first went missing. It was only about 2 months ago I came across your channel, but
yeah.
you were the first one to even say this theory, and now people are kind of realizing there's nowhere else to look except here. And the fact that they're making you feel like that, it's kind of suspicious in the fact that they could actually be looking at that theory, but they want to take kind of credit and glory if something does get found from, looking at these other characters. I don't even know if they searched that barn that you seen.
No, they never even watched the video. And that's where he was calling me because we saw that video. I said, no, you fucking didn't. Chad apologized because he thought somebody had called me about it. No, you didn't. Well, Mike was still working the case. No, he fucking wasn't. That's why I emailed Chad. You like, what are you talking about? Like, he had not a fucking clue. And then he's trying to convince me while he's telling me, well, that's how we do it in Canada. No, you don't, you dipshit. I'm Canadian. I know how you fucking do it in Canada, and you guys in the East Coast might do it that way. But I've never seen a $150,000 reward for a missing child presumed to have go walking out the backyard in this country before. Never. Now, if I'm wrong and it's happened over the decades, that's fine. But it's not a common everyday occurrence, let me tell you. And that guy thought he would just like, oh, she's a dumb American. Let's just tell her what way it is. Like he didn't have a clue his ass from his head. Like it was so pathetic. It's like if you were trying to prove otherwise, I'm a business coach. I coach teams and systems and hiring and training and sales and how to question people and how to get the answers from people. And you failed miserably in proving to me that you have a system that you actually are on top of. You've proved to me the exact opposite, that I was right when I said you let the fucking ball drop. I mean, if I'm right, and that's the last thing I said to him, and he was on, at this point, it was on speakerphone, I'm pretty sure, in front of his supervisor. And I'm good because I said, you better hope, you fuckers, that I'm not right. You better fucking hope I'm not right because Jack and Lily deserve better. And I was on speakerphone and then I hung up. I was like, fuck you. I was like, I hope Belinda goes after them and I hope Cindy goes after them because I even told Mike at the beginning, I thought they might be alive. And then I shifted that perspective and it was ignored. It was ignored. And you're right, Jasmine. They've had canine dogs out there. They've had cadaver dogs out there. If those kids were buried near that property, they would have found them by now, don't you think? Buried
Definitely.
or walked out the back door. Even the searcher said that yesterday. It's like wild.
Yeah,
But
and I think even with the energy, I do think they could have been alive. I don't know for how long, maybe up to, I don't know, a few days or months, but I remember reading on the case early on, and a couple of weeks into it, I did feel like at least one of the kids could still be alive, and something about June. So maybe there could be something there, and the fact that they were ignoring these tips early on, they could be a lot more culpable.
Well, that's my point. Like, you guys don't care. Well, you should care. You absolutely should care, because I don't think you wanna mess around with, Cindy or Belinda if they have a case against you. Sorry. I don't think you do. Like, it's everybody has professionally come out and said you effed this case up. So how you're going to defend that position if somebody wants to take you to task on it is going to be very interesting. And I won't be siding on the side of the RCMP if ever my opinion is asked in this at this point in time. And I said like yesterday's live, if anybody wants to talk to me, it better be Mike, because I have no desire to talk to anybody else on that in that case, that unit. I mean, it's wild. It's sad. It's sad. These are kids like 4 and 6 years old, and they treat it like it's, I don't know, just another
Missing
day.
dogs, yeah.
Yeah. Missing dogs. Like, I, I don't know. I don't know how you can justify having somebody
Mhm.
not there for a month.
I mean,
I
if
don't know.
those kids were trafficked and they were believing the story from the family who were suspicious from day one, it's their own fault for not looking at all the leads early on. They've had tunnel vision and they go from one wrong idea to the next, it
Yeah.
seems to me. And that's why they're still missing and there's still no proof that's been found by the RCMP. Why?
Well,
Because they were wrong with their theory.
well, yeah, that's the thing. They had to be wrong. And I mean, anyways, it's dumbfounding at this point in the game that this is still their position. And I was trying to give them the benefit of the doubt that they weren't allowing the "Please Bring Me Home" into the local buildings. But why? Why? I thought, "Oh, maybe they're investigating, the houses and the barns nearby." But then after that call yesterday, I realized, no, they're not. They're pretending to work on the case, but I don't know how seriously they're working on the case, you know? And I just like, why couldn't they search the barns? Was it because they knew the family was gonna come out and potentially threaten them? And if that's the case, if they were on staff that day, because it's a weekend and they don't work the weekends in the crime unit in Nova Scotia, all this overtime and how hard they're working, yeah, they get weekends off in the crime unit in Nova Scotia. They don't work weekends. So they were there deliberately for, as per the video we're gonna watch from the search group, yeah, to help in the event anything was found. And so if they were already available, why wouldn't they escort them out, take a couple people, and show them? I cannot get Jack and Lily's folder to load if my life depended on it right now. It's so bizarre. I had everything loaded and I had to start it all over again. I just don't get why they wouldn't protect them if that's the only reason for not going into the buildings. I don't get it. Like, why do you think, let's talk about this. What does your intuitive sense tell you on why they wouldn't let them search the buildings?
Do you mean the Daniels family?
No, the RCMP, when
Oh,
when Please Bring Me Home went out this weekend, the RCMP told them, according to Charmaine, who was talking to Belinda, who
okay.
was the one that organized the group to go out, that they were only allowed to search the waters and no buildings. And that's what I was saying. Kelly Snyder was like, well, that they'll never effing change. Like, that is just, he saw absolutely no reason for that.
Yeah, that's very strange. And it seems like from that search, they've tried to kind of demonize Daniel's family more. Now, I do feel like everywhere should be searched and people need to put their egos aside and, everywhere should be checked just to be ruled out. But
Mhm.
it's weird. It's kind of like the RCMP put in the rules and then they can shift it onto Daniel to make him look worse in a way, when it was them restricting the places they could search in the first place.
Yeah.
So
Well,
yeah,
they
they
were
could have
trying to get to
ulterior
the
motives.
water. They were trying to get to the water.
Do you pick up water with the children?
I don't, but I know everybody else does.
I pick up water with one, but not with the other. So
Which
it's,
one?
I think Lily could be possibly in the water, but this is what makes me think something like an island or a dock and maybe with forest land around it. I have no idea about the area, but obviously there is a lot of water surrounding and a lot of mountainous areas. But mountains come for Jack, water comes for Lily. There is a lot of ravines and stuff on mountains, so maybe something like that. But it's definitely far away from home. It's not close to home. And why don't the RCMP start doing searches further away? I suppose maybe they need to justify to use the resources, but how can
Yeah.
they? Because they found no evidence in 6 months.
Yeah. I know. I know. I don't know. It's, you know, and like the fact that he was like, well, we need to prove it in a court of law. Okay, then that's your job. That is your entire fucking job. Like, don't make that your excuse. Like, so you don't believe in psychics. That's irrelevant. Those kids deserve you to follow up every possible angle. And since you're completely lost and in the dark, and someone came after me yesterday and I responded, "Are you a fucking pedophile, sir?" Because like I shouldn't be rude, but I was just so livid. Like, yeah, good. You should stop bothering them. They fucking asked for the help from the public. Excuse me. They asked us for help. And now when people are bringing it, they fuck the dog on it because they can't keep up with it. Then don't ask for something you can't accomplish. You know? Like, why did you ask for help? Why are you putting a reward out if you clearly are going to just have your own narrative? It's just wild. I don't get it. It's disappointing beyond measure for me. But anyway. Okay. Anything you want to add before we go to the first video?
No, let's watch if you're
Okay.
ready.
Oh yeah, and then the last thing I wanted to say is you were right. I said to you in an email, but I haven't told everybody yet that you were right when Jasmine said when we were on the last live and I had a little girl come in. You said, "Is it summer?" I've never had summer wells come to me before, but I did ask my guides for clarification, and it appears you were right. You got that right away. Yeah, that's what they were saying. So we'll see. It's really interesting because I haven't really covered her very much. So we'll see if she starts coming out to chat with me, interestingly enough. Very wild. So we're going to watch this first because I wanted to start on happy news. Happy news. Okay. News Nation put out a video yesterday. Did y'all see it? Over 100 missing kids found in Florida. Well, it's about time. It's about time we hear some positive news. So I'm going to start off with some positive news.
Welcome back, everyone. More than 120 missing or endangered kids have been rescued in Florida. Officials say Operation Home for the Holidays is one of the largest child rescue missions in the country ever. News Nation's Brooke Schaefer is in Miami with the details. Brooke, what do we know about these kids? How are they doing now?
10 of the rescued kids range in ages from 17 to just under 2 years old, with officials in Florida saying many of them have been victimized in unspeakable ways. U.S. Marshals described this as mission critical, recently finding 122 missing and endangered children, mostly in Florida, during this 2-week operation. We have some video from Jacksonville where police there found close to 24 kids. Local detectives told us some of these kids were runaways who ended up around the wrong people. Like 2 brothers, police say they found in a meth house, severely malnourished. Those children now getting help this morning.
Many have been through the unthinkable. They've been trafficked, they've been exploited, they've been abused. This task force worked proactively to make sure that medical care and rehabilitation was ready immediately after they were back in our custody.
More than 200 law enforcement partners, including the FBI, worked together in what they are calling one of the largest child recovery operations in American history. Hannah?
How many people have been arrested as a result of this operation? Again, one of the largest in that state.
Yeah, officials announced 6 arrests so far. They face charges ranging from child neglect to multiple sexual batteries. Officials say they expect a lot more people to be arrested in the near future, and they plan to prosecute these alleged abusers to the fullest extent of the law. Hannah?
Brooke Schaefer, thank you so much for that story.
Yeah, it's gross. I mean, that is the reality. I'm so happy that they found these 122 kids and saved them. But
That's great news.
I know it is great news, but this is the point, like this is the reality and this narrative that kids just always walk out the door. I'm so sick of hearing it. I know, Donna, I know. It's just, this is the reality, so I wanted to point the great news though, but you know what? It takes great cops and a willingness to be open. And I learned this from Kelly Snyder, like you go with where the evidence shines, but until you can prove that, you're always looking for new evidence and new avenues. You don't ever leave a stone unturned until you know you're on the right track and you've got the evidence to support that. And so, if you have tunnel vision, you're not going to have results like that. So let's get into it a little bit here as well. As far as that's great news, we're going to do Jack and Lily. And we're going to also talk about Sebastian Rogers. Some of you may not be sure about that case, so we'll introduce you to that case today. I want to show you something funny first. Well, it's funny, not really, but I found it funny enough yesterday because I really needed a good laugh. And I hope that you'll find this a little bit of levity in this situation. I don't know if y'all have seen it, but I thought it was hilarious. Mike DeMann did a video like Donna, like you did a Jack and Lily video. Have you seen it yet, Jasmine?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Oh my God. It's hilarious. So I'm going to try to pull it up here now and I'm going to show you. It's called Janie's Got a Rake. Listen up. I was almost peeing my pants laughing at the words. It's Donna, I emailed the mods yesterday. I'm like, oh my God, laughed my ass off. I'm sorry. It's not funny. This is a really serious situation, but sometimes you need the levity because it is so serious. So listen up. Mike DeMann did an incredible job. I love this song. Listen to the words.
I know for 100% they won't find anything.
So what do you make of the fact that they are bringing the cadaver dogs in?
Janie's got a rake.
Well, I'm actually pretty happy about that.
Janie's got a rake.
I even hope that they bring more than one.
She's got so much to do.
So what are you happy about?
Her driveway needs a pool.
I would just like to see maybe the social media speculation theories and accusations, maybe. They're not going to stop, but slow down. Because at this point, they're getting ridiculous.
When Daddy was arrested, they found him on the pipeline trail. In front of helicopters running, now that Janie's got a rake, Fluffy's never gonna be the same. Daniel's so fake, now what's he gonna do? Was he building a fence or clearing for a pool? Did the kids go to sleep at 10 or at 8? Little Danny boy can't escape his fate. Danny's more concerned about what you're thinking. The kids are an afterthought, let that sink in. Trolling the net pops up like a whack-a-mole. You wanna buy a story with a giant hole? Apparently Thursday had no detail. Here comes Mike on a mission to derail all of the BS Danny is speaking. International sea of guilt is leaking. Thinks he's so smart, but he never took the course. Forensic linguistics will knock him off his horse. Shout out to Tint for the 4K drone shot. Now it's clear that his house is in earshot. Mystery car running trips through the night. Observed by Wonk, he could even see the headline. Victim blaming is degrading the children. He's more concerned about the world's perception. Girl after girl, he receives rejection. At least he's got his mum when he needs some affection. Janie's got a
So are you thinking that the dogs will go in there and won't find anything?
Janie's got a right.
I know for 100% they won't find anything.
She's got so much to do.
I didn't do anything.
Her driveway needs a pool.
I know Malaya didn't do anything. I know my mother didn't do
What did
anything.
her daddy do?
Those are 3 people on the property.
What did he put Jack and Lily through?
I mean, after the polygraph exam,
They
I
said
should have
when
known right there.
Daddy
We
was
didn't kill any of the
arrested,
kids.
they found him on the pipeline trail.
We didn't kill any of the kids. We didn't kill any of the kids.
In front of helicopters running out of Janie's got a right. Fluffy's never gonna be the same.
We didn't kill any of the kids.
Danny's on the roll, now he can't stop speaking, plugging up the holes where his ship is sinking. Thursday was just an ordinary day. I just spent 20 minutes trying to explain that nothing didn't happen and there are no details. Stupid dog handlers, they ain't gonna sniff trails. 100% they will not find nothing. That's a double negative, you dumb butt muffin. I was awake and asleep at the exact same time. Hang on, is Malaya's story lining up with mine? No cars were towed, but it's not at the impound. It wasn't in my name and the car makes no sound. This is a case of abuse and negligence. Jack and Lily are the victims of its consequence. Victim blaming is the mode of the family. You never hear anyone take responsibility. There were 3 adults on the block that night. People don't just vanish. Get that right? Like John Benet Ramsey, there should be an indictment, and Janie is to blame for your incitement. You put up a wrench, but what the hell for? Like a bear can turn a handle but not slide a door. Your incessant rambling is a gift to detectives. So many contradictions, your tale is defective. Janie's got a right.
Filled notebooks with just trying to help them find leads or
Janie's got a right.
give them any kind of small detail, answer as many questions as I can, and you know, I'm doing everything I
Her
can.
driveway needs a pool.
So why do you think this step is necessary?
What did her daddy do?
Well, it just rules out
What
one
did he put
and
Jack
brings
and Lily
the book a little bit closer to being
They
closed.
said when Daddy was arrested, they found him on the pipeline trail.
I'm not going to say I'm doing well, but doing better than I was at the start, I guess.
Helicopters running now that Janie's got a right. Fluffy's never gonna be the same.
Tell me about the toll, like what you were just mentioning earlier about social media.
Yeah, social media has been quite a circus, we'll call it. But I can't control them, and they're free to judge.
And there is such a stark contrast right now between where his mind is at and where the minds of the people are who want to know what happened to Jack and Lily. And that is the only thing that we want to find out right now.
I thought that was hilarious.
That was really good. Have you heard the Chris Proudfoot AI song?
No, which one is that?
So if you go to my last video, I think it was just like either the last one I posted or the second last one, it's at the end of the reading. I usually put it at the end of my Sebastian videos to
Should we go?
lighten the mood, but
Okay.
I find it hilarious.
Okay, so should we go?
Yeah, because Zach said he'll join in a few minutes, so we can
Okay.
listen while we're waiting. It's
Yeah, I
hilarious.
know.
I love
Okay. Oh my God. That is hilarious. I have not heard that one. It
So
adds,
stick
I
on the
know.
last minute and a half of the reading. That's usually
Okay, so which reading, honey?
it's called Chris
Chris
Proudfoot, The
Devil
Devil
in
in
Dis-
Disguise.
I saw
Yeah.
that, but I obviously did not stay to the last minute because I didn't.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay. Let's go. Let's watch it. Oh, I got it pulled up.
It's brilliant.
Personally, I don't find it funny, but each their own. It's bullying the family have so far not been found guilty of anything. Okay. Well, you're totally welcome to your opinion, but if you've been following the family and you find out that the family wouldn't allow searchers to search for their missing grandchildren on their property, that they needed to walk over to get to the river, I think you might think things are different. I think anybody that knows this case knows that those kids, in my opinion, in most people's opinion, did not walk out the door. And as per the broadcast stream below, It's public information for commentary and education. It's our opinions, and all persons are presumed to be innocent. That's why the banner is there on the bottom. And if you don't like it, you can show yourself on the way out. You know, no one's put a gun to your head and forcing you to be here. So, totally up to you. Exactly, as I said at the very beginning, it's funny and not funny because of the nature of it. But, you know, we cover this every day, and it's hard. It's hard. And some of us, like Jasmine and I, probably, and I don't know if you get woken up at night, but I do, with visions and stuff. Some of us don't sleep well because it's stressful. And
Yeah.
some of us need some levity once in a while, right? Jasmine, it's hard.
It definitely is. It's very draining. At nighttime, they do come through stronger. And even when you're not trying to connect,
Yeah.
sometimes they do try to connect. So you do need to lighten up our own mood and everyone else's, the viewers, because they're very hard and you have to find the laughs when they come.
Yeah, exactly. And you're allowed to your opinion, but as I said at the very beginning before even showing it, it's funny and it's not. And I think I explained that enough at the beginning. And yeah, Mike Demand is incredibly serious. So if you follow his channel, you also understand that that is not characteristic for him. So, you know, he's that's not that's not him normally. So it's also very telling. Okay, so let's play this one, Annie.
And God bless.
Yeah.
And God bless. Mwah.
Enough is enough with you motherfuckers.
Yeah. Yeah. Yo, Christopher Proudfoot, short in his frame, but his tongue's like a blade spitting venom and shame. Verbal assault, yeah, he's bad and extreme. Tearing down women, living life so obscene. Backhands a kid, got the streets in a rage. A stepson gone missing, just 15 years of age. Sebastian's name echoes. Where's the truth in the silence? While Chris keeps suggesting he is dark and he is violent. Katie sits silent, meek by his side. Tries to speak up, but her voice gets denied. He cuts her off quick like a king on his throne. Her body slumps back, she's a ghost in their home. This man's got a darkness, a storm in his soul. Speaking sexual violence, losing all his control. Cluminati live, yeah, he crossed every line. Advocating for suicide, man, his heart's out of time. Proudfoot, what's the deal with your rage? Caging up hearts, keeping pain on the stage. Women and kids, yo, they caught in your snare. While the world's looking on, keeping Sebastian in prayer. Proudfoot, shadows fall where you tread. Missing steps on crime from the words that you said. From the mic to the streets, yo, the truth's gonna sing. Chris Proudfoot, gonna hear the handcuffs clink. Christopher Proudfoot, the spotlight's on you for the pain that you've caused and the things that you do.
Wow, I like it. Do you know who made that one, Jasmine?
I'm not sure. I did screenshot it from Crime, Lies and Lines, but I think
Okay.
she was watching a video. I'm not sure who created it, but I do appreciate it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Again, it's not to incriminate the parents. It's just I followed Sebastian for a year and Jack and Lily now 6 months. And as we said yesterday or the day before, I can't remember, a couple days within the last few lives, I've said, you know, there's a lot of similarities between these two cases. And
Yeah. And
you
as I
know,
was saying, there's a lot of similarities between Summer and Jack and Lily, which could be why Summer is coming through to you too,
yeah,
because there's a lot of children who had to, go through these things, and not speaking about it is still silencing them in a way.
yeah, exactly. I know, exactly. And it was interesting because it was during the live, but my guides brought her in. So I'm wondering if her energy just needed their support. I don't know if she come to you quite a bit.
Yes, I mean, I've been following her case since day one, and only since I started doing tarot about a year ago did I start reading on her case. But I find that her case would be very taxing and draining because of how dark and explicit it is before even pulling cards. So it is very hard. But I think not talking about it and just writing it off as another runaway, as her parents tried to say as well, is just not doing any of these kids justice. None of them walked away, in my opinion.
No, I know. Yeah, it's really hard. It's very hard. So, okay, let me pull up. I've got probably in the wrong order now, but that's okay. Let's talk about Daniel's Facebook post first. Let's talk about this first. Have you seen this one?
I don't think so. Was it on a group or something?
Yeah, and it's Facebook. I only got a screenshot of it because let me see if I can share this. Because I have no access. I've been blocked from Facebook and X, which is fine. I mean, it's just hard because a lot of cases are there. But so I got this. I took a screenshot off. Somebody did a whole video of it yesterday, and I forgot to grab the guy's name, the channel name. Yeah, they absolutely did not walk away, says Veronica. So I just thought this was interesting because this was in response. We covered the fact that you saw this too, Jasmine, I assume, the fact that the Martells were freaking out with the searchers trying to
I'd seen
disparage
a
them.
clip of the video, but I hadn't heard, what they'd said to defend themselves.
They said, Zach died laughing when I said this on his live. Oh my God. They said that there were 2 rams on the property. Now, we don't have rams in Eastern Canada, and I can Google that right now in a second if you want. We can prove that. And they didn't look like there was any fence near them. So there was a suggestion there were wild rams by, it sounded like Earl Martell, 300-pound ones. No, I've got to Google it right now and prove to you guys. Okay. We don't have rams in Eastern Canada. And do you think these guys have a barn with rams in it? I mean, no. Rams in Eastern Canada. This will take us all of 3 seconds.
Yeah, maybe their barns weren't used for farming animals anyway.
Yeah, well, exactly. Because I didn't see any barns, and they shouldn't be if they're dangerous, wild, and free. I don't see any barns in the overhead Google shots of his place, but I could be wrong. But when I Googled rams in Eastern Canada, wild native rams, male bighorn sheep are not found in Eastern Canada. So, they are geographic in Canada to British Columbia and Alberta, only the 2 of the farmost west provinces in Canada. So there's no such thing. And all I kept thinking was when he said rams was of the ram head. Isn't that a satanic symbol?
It is, and it kind of looks like that guy Jordan, the one picture I've seen with the mask. That
That's
looks quite ram satanic like.
exactly what I was thinking. Here's Zach. That's exactly what I was thinking. Hey,
Hey, I made
Hey,
it.
yay! Nice to see you.
Nice to
just the
see
right
you.
time.
Is that right?
Yeah.
It's okay. We've been just being lackadaisy. We were showing a video of did you see the Mike Demand video? He
Uh,
did Reiki. Janie's got a rake.
yeah, I've heard of that song. Yeah.
Did you hear it? Did you watch it?
Not if he has a new video, no.
Oh, should we play it again?
I think he has a new video with Jordan, actually.
Yeah, I've seen the Jordan
I've seen a
Geddes
bit of
interview.
that, but not all of it.
I haven't watched it yet. What was it like?
He was shouting at him at first, and then they kind of started getting chatty and bro-like, but it seems like he still wasn't answering the question, so I'd still have red flags on Jordan for sure.
Do you? Zach, what do you think?
Yeah, so I watched only one of the parts, and but what I saw was it was the first part, and at first he seemed very standoffish, Jordan, but he also stated multiple times he wanted to make it a point that people knew he wasn't an addict, and he also said that his anger stems from him doing boxing, and
Okay.
he kind of had an excuse for a lot of things.
Okay.
Sounds like his friend Daniel.
Hmm.
His father. That's his
Yeah,
father.
all of them.
Yeah. So, anyways, go watch Janie's Got a Rake because I think it's hilarious, and somebody here was offended, and I'm sorry for that. And then, but we were just saying it's intense to work these cases, and sometimes you just need a mental break, you know?
Yes, I agree with that. And I thought it was funny, actually, the video, because, and I jam out to it in my free time. No, I'm just playing, but.
Yeah, yeah. Speaking of videos, though, if you really want to listen to great songs, T-Rev did some for Sebastian, one for Sebastian. And
Really?
yeah, I love it. It's funny because I'm not into like hip hop, like as a like that's a dance, sorry, into what is it called when the rap songs? I'm not into
Yeah.
rapping, but I love his songs. I've asked him if I could play them, but he's copyright, so he hasn't responded. But I love T-Rev's song with respect to Sebastian. It's really very moving. It's not satirical like that. It's truly meant to be.
Sweet. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay,
Zach
let's get.
raps.
What's that?
Zach raps. Or he
Yeah.
did in the past, I think.
Did you used to rap?
Yes, I did. I have lots of songs. They're in the vault. They're on the internet. Maybe I'll show you one sometime.
Oh, that would be funny. Yeah, that would be fun to watch. Not funny. Sorry, I'm looking at the comment here. I was writing the comments before you left. It was acceptable that I posted as you left. Okay, sorry. Yeah, sorry. That would be great, Zach. And then my mod Kitty's a singer.
Really?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, she does karaoke singing, and she's a singer. She's got a great voice. And then Donna likes to make music and put the words together. We could have a whole band going here.
Definitely.
Psychic band, yeah.
Psychic band.
And creating music, it's like channeling energy.
That's right, Jasmine. And that's what I used to do. Like, so I started making music around the same time that I realized I had this gift, actually. Around like 11 or 12 years old, I started making music. And I would do this thing called freestyling. And it's like when you rap without like having a song written. So you just do it off the top of your head, right?
Yeah.
And for the longest time, my friends would always ask me, how do you know what to say? Like, it makes sense, it rhymes, you do it on point, and you're doing it off the top of your head. How? And I'd be like, I don't know, it just comes to me. So it's just a way to channel energy, like Jasmine said.
Yeah, you're just channeling.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, you're gonna need to help me today with the echoing because my StreamYard is acting up, and I can't even go back up and down to mute myself. Okay, there I did.
How can we help? Is it echoing for me?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I can't hear any echoing.
I can hear echoing for me and Liane, but not Zach.
Oh,
That's so weird.
It's when we're more than one talking at the same time.
Okay. Maybe just do the muting thing, Liane, every time we talk. And we'll take turns.
Okay, I think I got it now.
All right. So I have a question. What cases are we discussing today, or what cases are on you guys' mind?
We're gonna discuss Jack and Lily and Sebastian.
Sounds good.
I just can't mute you, honey. I can't. It's being difficult today.
I'm muted already.
Okay. Mute yourself, Zach.
Yeah, let me find it.
There, I got you.
Wait, hold on.
Okay, I got you,
There we go.
Zelina. Okay, I got you. Oh, you undid it. I'm gonna shoot StreamYard. I think I'm gonna try. Okay, that's better. Okay, so I just want to talk about Daniel's response. What do you think about this? What do you pick up energetically? Anything that's interesting to you? This was in response to his parents or his family, I guess. I'm guessing this was in response to the family not allowing the searchers to go through their property to get to the water. And he posted, I want to make this fully known. Don't downplay the intentions I have towards finding them safely. I talk openly without recourse. If you don't approve, just read. I've delivered everything ongoing to the public in the means of finding them. I'm the one that asked for polygraph exams first. I threw investigators my phone and said, take it. I released the pink blanket to the public. I released that me and the family were seen on CCTV the day prior. I released my polygraph results. I will continue to inform the public. There's perspective is one's to choose. I do these interviews and talk openly because there's no other choice. I do it for Lily and Jack because I should. If you look closely, it's either me or Belinda raising the only awareness. No others effing will. They don't have the willpower to stand up and raise awareness for what we all want. Reputation means nothing. There is nothing left. My life has been full of effing display for the world to either support or commence destruction. But by attacking me, you attacking the closest voice they have. I see the truth just like everyone in this group. If you support me, you support finding Jack and Lily. If you don't want to support me, then continue on the warpath you have chosen. Don't attack the individuals that support me because they are different perspectives than your own. It's foolish and arrogant, which I sometimes admit that. I admit that. Everyone has a big heart and we all want the same outcome, and that's to find Lily and Jack safely so they can return to a normal life. Something simple such as going to the playground or going to ice cream or even playing with other children might seem normal, but I'm guessing they are not obtaining those luxuries. I'm not aware of location, but I think we all know they are not running freely or simply enjoying kids' things. Support or attack, the goal from the beginning is to find Jack or Lily. You guys want to comment on that? I'll mute.
I'll let Zach go first and we'll figure out the echo.
All right. So what I have to say in response to that is the thing that stood out to me most is when Daniel said, I know the truth like everybody else in this group. So I believe he does know the truth, and so do many of us. And that is him stating that some people in the group know the truth. So I believe that some of us are on the right track and probably have said exactly what has happened. And him stating that in this also makes it seem like that. I don't think him speaking out like this was a great move for him, but he's just going to continue doing that because that's just who he is. It helps us. It helps everybody researching the case, and it helps the RCMP. And this is a little off topic, but it's interesting how the searchers found a lot of stuff, and the RCMP basically found nothing. I shouldn't say nothing, but the searchers found stuff too, and they weren't out there that long. So that's a little off topic, but yeah, ultimately, I think Daniel saying this is just another one of his ways to try to defend himself within this case. All right, I'll mute myself. Here you go, Jazz.
Can you hear me okay? Is there an echo?
You're good, hun.
I don't disagree with him completely, and I mean maybe it wasn't him that was blocking the roadways and it was his family. I mean, in a way, he's not wrong, but he omits so many things and he forgets how many times he's been caught out lying that we can't just take what he's saying at face value. But he kind of reminds me of the boy who cried wolf, that when he is telling the truth, no one will believe him because he's lied so many times already. So it's hard to know what to think. I do feel like he has a lot of guilty knowledge and he was a key main player. But I do feel like he shifts the blame so much because he's omitting who else was partaking in these things, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I condemn him because I know he was definitely abusive to Malaya and the kids, but I can't fully condemn him when he's the only one that's consistently talking about them. I'm still more looking at Malaya to see what she has to say. He talks too much and she talks too little, and maybe that could be a tactic in itself.
It's interesting that you talk about that tactic because, you know, it wouldn't be surprising if there was a tactic, but I would doubt the police would catch on to that. I guess the thing that I find in this statement, I agree, like if you're innocent, I can see posting this. The thing is, like you said, he's come up with so many contradictions, and didn't he himself say, "I don't know where the kids are"? And if you know where the kids are, and if you know the kids were taken, and you seem to indicate you know more in this thread, why aren't you talking to the RCMP about it? Like, where's the conversation with the RCMP about that? So,
Maybe they're not listening. They could be being as gaslighty to him as they were to you. Or, even with Darwood, even if there was any truth to his story, obviously there was lies in there too. But if they didn't check out any of it, then they could be missing pieces of the puzzle.
mhm. Yeah, well, this is a possibility too. Denise, no, I think it was Belinda that created the search, but Malaya's family was at the vigil, and they're at the search, and Daniel's family was not at the vigil except for Daniel himself or at the search. So I was saying in yesterday or the day before's video, both families are attacking it, if you will, or approaching this from completely different viewpoints. You've got Daniel on and Durwood, which I classify as the Daniel family, because that's the side he's positioned himself on. And Janie have all been out on social media spreading inconsistencies in their stories and talking a lot of weird, things that don't make sense. And then you got Malaya's family, who's albeit silent, but then taking part in the vigils and the searches. So it's interesting. Like they couldn't be farther apart from their approaches.
But
It's just,
definitely could be agreed upon, before they call the police. They could have had a game plan, a tactic, and even if Malaya did break up with him unexpectedly, they could still have to keep that part of the deal or their end of the bargain if everyone is complicit in knowing what happened, or even, knowing how they left the property at least. That they could still all be charged for that, even just lying to the police.
mhm. Well, this is where I'm at. Like even if the kids did walk out the door, where are the arrests? They admitted to neglect. They admitted that the kids woke up at 8 and they went back to bed. Like, what?
It's
It
ridiculous. They couldn't even make up any interaction that they had with them that day because they weren't there that morning. They were asleep in bed because they didn't have Jack and Lily to wake them, in my opinion.
Well, this is it. And Mo says, I would have made the searchers welcome and made them tea. It's their property, though. They did not have to write and ask for permission to search the land or contact the RCMP and ask them to arrange permission. Well, and this is the thing where I'm saying with the RCMP, like, if you know the searchers are coming and they planned it for 2 weeks in advance, and you know that in order to get to the water, they're going to have to cross a family member's property, why wouldn't you go there to make sure that they can access that safely? Like, I don't understand. I don't understand. And I still don't understand the RCMP only allowing them to search the water. And I think you're right. I think the RCMP knew they were going to behave this way, hence why they said, don't enter buildings. That's just my opinion. I think they knew and they did nothing to protect these searchers, and that could have been dangerous. So I'm faulting the RCMP on this. You knew they were coming, and if you knew it was going to be dangerous, they can go in buildings, then you had a responsibility to protect them if you knew this was going to happen. Because don't forget, Janie's family and Durwood's family owns most of the land in that area.
And
It's
did Durwood, I was going to call him Durwood and Janie D, or who was he connected with? Was that one of Malaya's family, or is he related to Malaya? I can't even keep up with
I
who's
think it
related to who.
was Janie that used to date Durwood.
Okay, so
Is that right,
Durwood
Zach?
could be a nickname for them.
Yeah. Is that right, Zach? I think that's right.
Sorry, I was trying to unmute it. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right. Yeah, I heard that there was a rumor, excuse me, that was what was going on, but I'm not positive, so not positive. My cat's trying to make an appearance.
Cute cat.
We're always happy to see you, Kat.
Come on, buddy. Wow.
Okay, I'm gonna pull up a video.
Let me mute myself. Will not mute. I don't know. It's not muting, so I just won't
You
say
were on
anything, I
mute a
guess.
second ago.
Okay.
In the water, downriver. Yeah, it's just strange. It's strange. So we're organizing a search for Jack and Lily Sullivan. We are relying on community members to come and join those efforts. We're going to offer like a little bit of shooting from the hip training on walking along looking for evidence. We've had about 40 people volunteer, but overnight you've had some people drop out. So I would be over the moon if 30 people showed up. Your safety does come first. We are looking for the kids, but your safety comes first. I would say mostly family and friends, and then there's just like concerned members of the community that wanted to get involved and help search, and this is their opportunity to get that. We were not going to get involved. We were trying to stay far away from this because we felt that the RCMP were heavily involved, search and rescue was heavily involved. They were doing a bang-up job from what we could see from the outside looking in, and as soon as you start having conversations with the family, when any family member fills out an intake with please bring me home, we always get involved in some capacity. We never say no. Of course, it's sad we're going to search for 2 missing kids, but I think that the community and the family coming together to do this effort and a crew coming from Ontario is hopefully overpowering that somberness. Okay, we're going. You guys good?
Can you describe how the day's been going so far?
It's been a wee bit stressful. Just trying to manage from the outside to make sure that the searchers are safe, and there's 6 groups, so it's a lot of moving around and making sure that they're okay. Like I've had to get 2 people out who needed to go out because it was too much for them. So that's been a little bit difficult to manage. And then just with the cell service and the walkie-talkies not working properly, it's been really difficult. But I know where everybody is now, and we've only got a couple hours left of sunlight, so we're ahead of the game. There has been some items located that would initially be like items of interest. So I'd look to be like a boy's t-shirt we had located. We sent that to the RCMP. They're going to connect with family to see if it appears familiar. At this time, it doesn't appear to be a familiar shirt. We found like a box with some people's names in it that are interesting that we're going to turn over to the RCMP. They're actually
I'm just going to comment first and we can talk about this box for a second. Tell me what you guys think about it. The only reason I find it really relevant is somebody in the group here may remember me saying, and I told Mike Wilson on my first report of the case, when I had my vision of what I, in my opinion, believe it to be Jordan Getty's, the first vision I got, and they were walking towards the water, towards Lansdowne Lake. And then I said they went left down the pipeline trail towards the railway track where the blanket was found. But I told Mike Wilson, and I've said it on this live before, for some reason, I felt like this person was, Donna, you know where I'm going. I felt this person was marking geographical coordinates. And I've said it. Like, this person knew the back way out, and they were mapping coordinates. And so that's the only thing I find interesting about this. Well, two things I find interesting. It proves Daniel Martel and his buddies have a way of communicating outside normal chain of communication, just thoughts, and that it's just curious that I picked up that energy when I felt those kids walking exactly in the direction of where this was picked up. Anybody else want to comment on it? I'll let you unmute yourselves.
So was the receipts they found gaming receipts, or what were they? Because I remember you said something about in your vision one of the neighbors holding a receipt, and then I did hear something about a letter being found or money in a bush. Maybe that came up in the spirit box, but it seems like if him and his friends had these ways of communicating, I mean, that could be significant when it comes to what happened to the kids. And I'm kind of just thinking of the kids on a treasure hunt, or even, you know, like the Hansel and Gretel story, and they dropped certain things,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and even the star that was found near a bridge, but then Jordan having the star tattoo. I mean, there's so many pieces, but they're starting to line up, I think. But I'm
It's
not
funny.
sure what this receipt was. Do you know
I
exactly?
I don't. I don't. And then I'm going to mute myself because I just want to let Zach talk. But it's funny you pick up on about this treasure hunt and things being dropped, because that's exactly what I was wondering. All these things were being dropped. I'm wondering if Lily was sage enough and smart enough to do that. You
Yeah,
know?
I mean, they could like that story. It could be one of their favorites, and who knows? They could have thought it was a game, because I have picked up on that before in readings. That's like, they come on, kids, let's go here, as if it is a treasure hunt or a game to get them to go somewhere. Did anyone see in spirit blood, bullets, hands, water was mentioned? Drowning. Cave energy, definitely. Cave, grave. I don't know about drowning. I don't know. I definitely do feel like there's more like blood strangulation energy that I've picked up on. Um, but I don't know. It just seems like at some point there was a very nefarious predator around the kids, and I don't know if they were being led to this place by someone else. You know, maybe that was Daniel and his friends, and everyone's in agreement to do this, and they can't tell on each other, any of them. So they're all just as guilty, but who actually did it with their hands, maybe we don't even know yet, or that person hasn't come up. If it is someone above them in the game, per se.
Zach?
Yeah, so before this morning, I had no idea what the whole geocaching thing was. I'd never heard of it. And then once someone explained it to me, and I realized it had Daniel's name on it from, I think it was 2014, I instantly had this very eerie feeling. And that made me feel like it was very strange. I don't believe in coincidences. So the fact they found something with his name on it should definitely, to me, it's a message from the universe that that person with that person's name on it is involved. And I mean, we all know who that is by now, but I just think that's a way for the universe to tell people that are, you know, along for this whole journey, that that person is definitely involved, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think the universe is, maybe not for cops that aren't psychic and have zero intuition because they drive their ego first, which is not a criticism as much as it is a criticism, not in the case of this statement, because I think if you were worried people were going to pull guns on you everywhere you were going and you had to do the jobs that they do, you've got to lead with a lot of arrogance and ego. But I think when they are following a case and they're back in their office and they're not at risk of being shot at or God knows what else, they need to use their spidey sense. I agree with you. I don't think this is necessarily relevant to this case, but I think for people like us intuitives, it cannot be a coincidence. And the fact that it was dated the day after these kids went missing is weird. Like 11 years, 10 years, 11 years, but the day after, May 3rd, is just weird. They went missing It's just an interesting coincidence. But to me, it says that Daniel knew the back of these woods, like he could probably walk them in the dark. And it was also rumored that where those searchers were trying to get to, is where Jordan Geddes and Daniel have a trailer by the water where they fish from. So I don't know. Did anybody hear that?
I've just heard that now, but it's giving me chills. I mean, it seems like it has all the elements that have been picked up on. And I mean, Jordan and Darren are very defensive. So maybe people are still looking at the wrong plot of lands because it doesn't seem like either of those men had their houses searched.
I have a question. So that note that was found, so it was dated the day after, but so many years ago. Is that the case? It was the day after?
May 3rd, 2012.
So that would be the day after, right? Because they reported him missing May 2nd. Am I right?
Yep.
So in my opinion, that's another way of showing that it wasn't on that day. It was the day before, because this is showing the day after. Yeah.
Meaning they disappeared the day before, then the May 1st, like we all thought.
Yep, because this is showing the day after, but it was really the day before.
And guess what other child went missing to the day years after Sebastian Rogers went missing, to the day February 26th, years after Katie filed for divorce and custody. So
And that's no coincidence either.
No. Like this case and that case and Sebastian Rogers have so many parallels. It's wild. It's wild.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'm going to play it, Mo. I'm going to keep playing it. Let's keep playing it now.
On duty today, so just in the event that we do find something, taking that
Go back and
over to the RC.
I'll let you zoom in for a second there. It says Daniel Martel, May 3rd, 2014. I apologize. Left a 2012 quarter, took nothing. The other thing I want to get from you is, do you think they could have been selling and trading rugs in these boxes? Because they're depositing and withdrawing things. Took nothing. Anybody pick that energy up?
Definitely. It seems like there's some sort of sneaky way of doing it without having to be seen handing things over. Just leave it a box in a bush somewhere.
Zach?
I just think that the whole thing is weird, but that's because I've never heard of it before, so I can't really give too much knowledge on this because I don't really know about it. But I can say that when I heard about it and then realized the day and that it was Daniel, it did feel very eerie to me.
That's interesting, because if there was a plan in place, and let's just assume, okay, there was a plan in place and they went and met with Larry, which we know the day before the kids went missing that Thursday. Could Daniel have said geocache and that's all he needed to say? I don't know. I'm just curious. It's just very interesting.
And does it say how much cash? Is it a form of payment?
It doesn't, but he's got like dropped a quarter and took nothing.
Dropped a quarter of, it could be
A
rugs, maybe?
gram. Yeah, quarter gram. Like that's exactly it. Who knows? I mean, it could be completely irrelevant, but that's how the game works, says Lady Gracious.
Yeah.
So it's just that we know Daniel was involved in drugs and distribution of it. And so it's just interesting. I know I can't do anything about it. It's a news clip, honey. Okay, a quarter of cash of rugs. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, let's finish this up. We've debated this long enough. Let's watch the rest.
EMP. They're actually on duty today, so just in the event that we do find something. And they were very interested in the box that we found with the certain names in it that I can't say, but they're interested in that. And the fact that it's found in the water, downriver, and yeah, it's just strange. It's strange. We're going to go and just check in with two of the search teams. This is a rickety road we're going to be going down to reach them, though. Likely going to be picking up two of them to come back to vehicles so that they can come and the rest of them can get picked up.
I'm good. Anyone want out of this? Good.
Okay. So just continue on then. So you guys are going to go to the pipeline, or sorry, yeah, it is the pipeline trail, and then walk on the opposite side of the woods. It's a pretty thick trail. And then I guess just follow along the water. Do you guys think, like, see what time you're at when you get to the water, though? Because you'll see you're still.
Yeah, I got you.
You're got a ways up here to go and down there. So, and I want to start really getting people out by 4.
Yeah. What time is it now?
2. Yeah, 2 hours. This, by far, has been the most difficult to manage during the search because you're having to check in with each team every 30 minutes and things come up. You have to go and talk to property owners who are upset that we're there.
I will have you charged for
Do it.
This has been by far one of the more difficult ones to manage from a safety perspective. Now that I've been here, I'm even in my own mind trying to comprehend how it can be possible that these kids wandered off and they haven't been found, especially after being in there and seeing all the flagging tape and hearing from all the property owners that we spoke with what the searching has been done. I'm having a really hard time fathoming that probability now that I've seen it for myself.
And what makes you say that?
Many things, but I think most importantly it is the amount of effort that search and rescue has put forward to try and find these kids and how quick they were able to start that process. I just find it more unlikely by the minute today that they had wandered. I'm not saying it's not possible. It's just I after seeing it, I can't understand how they wouldn't have been found that first day. We're not stopping. Like we have to stop because winter's approaching. And we will come back in springtime and do a search dependent on what our CMP's involvement in springtime will be. So, and who knows what will be learned throughout the winter. When the families ask for help, you can't really say no, whether it's a current case or whatever. We have the capacity to do it. We shot from the hip here and planned this in 2 weeks, and we were able to do it. And we were able to clear many kilometers just by asking for locals to come help. So it can certainly be done. And, we're in it until they're found.
Are they bringing in cadaver dogs soon? Did I hear that correctly?
I was just going to play it. They are Wednesday. Zach, you wanted to say something, so I'll mute.
Yeah, so I think with that search leader saying that he doesn't believe that they're just in the woods, because like I've seen what it looks like for people that are going through that terrain in that area and how much effort they have to put forth just to make it a few feet in there. And 2 little children could not make it far at all. And if they did possibly wander off, I agree with him. They would have been found on that first day. I think it's tragic that the RCMP are saying that it's not criminal, but if that's a tactic, so be it. But I mean, to me, it's as criminal gets, because they didn't just wander off, in my opinion. And more people are starting to say that they don't believe it. And when you have somebody that's a reputable person like this saying it, it's just adding more credit to the fact that they did not wander off.
Exactly. This company has located 60 missing kids, and they do this professionally. And wait, before you got here, Zach, in the next, I'm going to show one more clip, because Jasmine, just to address what you said, one more CBC clip that's like 3 minutes long that says, yes, they are searching with cadaver dogs tomorrow, which is wonderful. But I also want to show you the man from Can-Am missing, who is a 40-year law enforcement, who says the RCMP royally effed up. And I want you to hear the other reason he says they royally effed up yesterday, which is I agree with. And that it's anyway, you're right, Zach. Jasmine, do you want to add anything before I show the next clip?
No, work away.
Okay, hun. Okay, yeah. So yeah, let's open this one up, because it's not just another CBC, but it does answer, just because I want to be very transparent and make sure people know that when we can prove something, we prove it and don't just say it. This clip is a little bit of a repeat, but it also tells that they're coming back with the cadaver dogs tomorrow.
A last-ditch effort before winter hits for any sign of 5-year-old Jack Sullivan and his 6-year-old sister Lily. These volunteers split into 6 groups and spent a day in the woods of Lansdowne, the rural Nova Scotia community where the siblings were reported missing on the morning of May 2nd. The nonprofit group Please Bring Me Home made the trip from Ontario to coordinate people on the ground.
So this will be our side. We're going to follow it way down. Eventually, we're going to turn the river and we follow it up past Lansdowne Lake.
About 30 people volunteered to take part in this search, most of them family and friends, all coming together in the hopes of finding any clue that will lead them to Jack and Lily.
It's sad, very sad, but it's been 6 months and we need some type of closure to this case.
One focus, the area where a drone detected 2 heat sources late on May 2nd, just before midnight.
One appears like it could be small object sitting, just 2 heat signatures sitting close together near the water.
RCMP says an officer followed up, found nothing, and determined it was likely a bear, but this group wanted to be certain.
I'm not sure, but it may or may not be the drone hit where the infrared sensors picked up, just because I see a line coming down from up here and leads right down to our water. I'm not sure. I've got to confirm it later on, but we're just going to take note of it and do a special little search around here, especially just in case it is something.
Nothing was found in that specific area, but teams did find a few items of interest.
And it looks like it has like underwear burnt, like it's been burned, and it's the t-shirts. So it's a unique design. So we took a picture, we sent it to the RCMP. They then spoke to family and they said that it's not something they recognize.
Volunteers also came upon a child's bicycle, a blue blanket, and an old geocaching kit with the children's stepfather's name in it.
That's why it's so important to relook, like especially before snowfall, and have a third party come and just take a peek. Not that we're no better than anybody else. It's just having a third party come look is so important.
But at times it got tense. One property owner refused entry where there are signs for no trespassing.
Why are you trying to stop us from finding them? You have what? We weren't in the field.
2 very dangerous animals.
What animals are they?
2 rams.
A roller coaster of emotions for everyone involved, especially those who love Lily and Jack.
It'd be discouraging if none of it means anything. So I'm really hoping that something has turned up, evidence of something. Anything will do.
I do feel disappointed too. The main output I was looking for was finding the kids, and that's not what happened today. I do feel like we have more questions, especially with finding things throughout the woods.
The RCMP says none of the items found are relevant to the investigation, but with everyone feeling unsettled, The volunteer group now plans to bring in cadaver dogs to do continued targeted searches this week. Angela McIver, CBC News, Lansdowne.
Do you guys think the cadaver dogs will find anything tomorrow?
I'm not too sure about that, but I do want to comment on how the RCMP said none of the items were found were relevant to the investigation. It's interesting how they just shoot it directly down. I mean, I know Malaya or Daniel may have said that the items were not belonging to the kids, but how, like, they found a blue blanket, which I think is incredibly interesting because you have the pink blanket, now you have a blue blanket that was found, and a young child like Jack probably did have a blue one at some point. And then you also found the geocaching thing with Daniel's name on it. So I don't know, stuff seems fishy to me. But as for the cadaver dogs, I hope they can hit on something, but I don't know. I'm not too certain that they're going to. At this point, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But the t-shirt being burnt is very interesting because I do pick up fire a lot, and it was like the first energy I picked up on when I started reading for the case. And I know there was lots of forest fires and burnt out cars, but the fact that the clothes were burnt could be significant. You're trying to burn a scent away, maybe. What do you think, Liane?
I agree, and we're gonna show a video here from that Can-Am guy now who thinks that they should have done DNA samples. I agree. Why are they trusting the parents to tell them? The parents are over 90% of the time the ones involved in a missing child case or direct family. So why would you trust the parents to tell you those are not relevant? And secondly, what if they were taken and somebody put them in those clothes and then burnt them? Like, I agree. I don't know how they were so dismissive. It's it's wild to me. It's wild to me. Um, and do I think they're going to find anything? I think if they looked in buildings, they might, but I don't think they're going to go back to the same territory again and find something different. I just don't. I think those bodies, had they walked out the door or not been buried, would have been eaten by local animals. You would have had ravens going by, etc. Oh, and Zach, just before you got here, we were laughing because I Googled rams in Eastern Canada. There's no such thing in Eastern Canada. We don't have rams in Eastern Canada. And 300-pound ones, most certainly not. And unless there were a farm on that property, which I didn't see any fences of, which if they were in a farm, they should be in a fence if they're dangerous. And I don't think those people could care for themselves, let alone 2 rams. So I don't think they have rams on a farm there. So, but yeah, I'll pull up the next video then. And if you want to talk while I'm doing that, you can unmute yourself.
Yeah, so I have no idea about the Rams situation. I do think it's interesting that that guy's first thought was to say, I have Rams, they might hurt you. When in reality, the people are going to search for the 2 children and they're putting themselves at risk just being on searching, you could get hurt searching. So I don't think they were too worried about any Rams if they even existed over there.
Yeah, why so defensive is the question.
Yep, he definitely was that. It made a big
Because
stir too.
even whether they were taken somewhere alive or past, there would
Are you
still be a
feeding them
scent
over
trail.
there? These mysterious rams? Yeah, watch this. This is the guy. Can't hear you, Jasmine. Go ahead, hon.
Oh, I'm on mute now, Liane. Work away.
Okay, I thought I heard you trying to say something. Okay, so this gentleman, this is Can-Am Missing Project. I've followed his videos before. He's a 40-year law enforcement veteran, and he runs missing kids cases between the United States and Canada. And so it's not just our opinion that the RCMP have effed up. He's been saying it all along in this case, but listen to what he has to say over yesterday's search. This was released this morning.
He's a good girl. He's a good girl, yeah. You like your scarf, yeah? Okay, you can lay down. Here, come on. Come on, let's lay down. Let's lay down. Yeah, he's a good girl. Well, I gotta tell you that nice. And I'm indebted for the kindness that was shown over and over by the friendly nature that I saw routinely, and I mean routinely. So for everybody that was there, thank you for being such a kind soul. And talk about the cruise a little bit, give you an update on some other things. But some people on the cruise really struck me on a different chord. A man named Jason came on the cruise with his wife. Jason was from New Mexico, retired military man. And he gave me this, kind of a jersey thing, it says Politis, Ben's number on the back. Then it says, my favorite sport.
I don't know where he gets into Jack and Lily. I listened to it this morning. Sorry, y'all. Let me just.
And I did. Movie. And Jason, just a fan, came up.
Sorry.
That I made. And I showed those jerseys to the audience. And I said, you know what I'm going to do with this jersey? I'm highly touched by. Got with me. And he had followed some of the cases that I talked about and worked over the last several years. And one was about a young boy who disappeared in the woods in 1947. And Kelly tracked down the Life magazine that the picture was in, that I showed you to, that I showed you in the past. And there it is in a Life magazine. The clarity on this is unbelievable. What I want you to look at is look at his eyes. This boy's chest, he isn't scratched up. He's sitting there in the middle of the woods, a long way from home. And this bloodhound found him. The picture's amazing. How Kelly found it, I have no idea. But my gosh.
I did not hear this part of the video this morning, so I'm trying to get us to the right spot. And I'm certainly wondering if he's talking about Kelly Snyder, because he's saying Kelly, because Kelly Snyder also runs a missing child group and was also in law enforcement in the United States for 25 years. So anyway, let me just get to, I think I had already fast forwarded it. And now I've effed it up.
Lily?
Hold on. There we go.
And Jack Sullivan that have been missing from Nova Scotia, Lansdowne, Nova Scotia. And just to remind you, they went missing May 2nd of this year. 4 and 6 years old. They lived with their parents on a trailer on this piece of property. It's kind of in the middle of nowhere, woods surrounding it. They lived there for a while. Well, morning, the parents wake up and the mother reported the kids missing at 10 o'clock in the morning. And I've done several videos about it. RCMP came out. I've talked about what I thought about their searches and how they proceeded to make mistake after mistake after mistake. Kids hadn't been found. In late September of this year, they brought in specialized cadaver dogs to work the same area where searchers had gone through. Now, smart thing to do. If you got a big mountain and lots of trees and allowance of downfall, bringing in the dogs to work that area again is smart, especially if the kids have died. Cadaver dogs should be able to pick up a scent from a couple miles away, no problem. They didn't pick up anything. And then just to show how good-natured our world is, which it is if you look, November 15th of this year, a private search by 30 searchers from a nonprofit called Bring Me Home out of Ontario. They got together, brought some searchers in, and they decided to concentrate on the water, rivers, creeks, streams in the area, because they kind of thought that maybe the kids fell into one of those. Well, they went out and they searched for 12 hours one day. And they did find a black t-shirt with a blue design that was a child's t-shirt right out in the middle of nowhere. They eventually showed it to the mom and she didn't recognize it, but this goes to show how thorough these searchers are. And then probably the weirdest find of any search by any group was a search group found a geocaching unit. Now, we've talked about this before. Geocaching is almost like a sport. You use a GPS, you put in the coordinates of the geocache unit, which you can find online. There's websites for them. And then you hunt with your GPS for where it's located. They're usually under, you don't have to usually dig for them. They're under a rock, behind a tree, in the bushes, etc. They might be in an ammo canister, in an old coffee jar. Everything works. Well, this one search unit finds a geocache unit. And the geocache unit inside usually has some trinkets worth 4 or 5 cents each. It's not the value of the trinket, it's the search. That's the important part. And usually inside there's some kind of logbook and a pencil. So you can write down your name, you were there, the date and the time, and maybe the unwritten rule is when you take something, you leave something. So you usually walk around with a pocket of trinkets yourself. Unbelievably, the search team found a geocaching unit with a note in the logbook of May 3rd, 2014. Remember, the kids disappeared May 2nd, 2025. So 11 years almost to the date earlier, their stepfather, Daniel Martel, was in that geocache unit. What that tells me is Daniel knew that area, just like you know your backyard. And he was in there. He obviously wrote something down in his name. It later came out that he and his family had been in that area for decades. So it wasn't unusual for him to be back there. But again, it goes to show that he knew that area super well. Searchers also found a blue blanket and a child's bicycle that were never ID'd as belonging to the kids. Okay, I get that. And then another group found a blanket that was wrapped around some small bones. Yes, that would be very troubling if I was a searcher. And that search team handled it appropriately. They called in an anthropologist. They later ID'd the bones as being an animal. But the right way to handle it. You don't make guesses about things like that. You handle it like a crime scene. Now, the closest town to this entire area is Lansdowne, Nova Scotia. Not a big town itself. And what I've said before is that when these searches happen in very rural areas, it's hard to get people to commit to going back and back and back. One article recently stated, an absence of evidence is evidence. Correct. Meaning they found essentially nothing on this, which is evidence of itself. Now, if you find nothing, does that mean the kids were never there? Now, cadaver dogs have been in and through that area many, many, many times, never picking up a scent. So what are the choices? Choice number one, the kids were abducted by a stranger. Okay, possible. Option two, the parents are involved in concealment of the kids, alive or dead. And number three is the kids walked into oblivion. That could mean a lot of things, but they determine their own destiny, essentially. After doing this for as many years as I have, I find it very difficult to think that those kids are there. But I'm also a realist to know that many times remains can be found right in the area that was searched dozens of times. Is that going to be one of these instances? I really don't know. But as I've stated in the past videos I've made on this, the RCMP made so many mistakes, gave the people involved too many options, too much time, too much leniency, and they weren't proactive enough looking into other options besides just straight missing. Lots of times when kids go missing, there's a detective team that you never even see that's talking to neighbors, other relatives of the people who lost the child. They're doing a complete workup on the area, the parents, and the background of the family. And you have to do this. And it isn't demeaning to the family, it's doing your job. And I think that's where the RCMP failed. Not that I'm accusing the parents of anything, no. As an example, what if the kids were taken by a friend or an associate, not an associate, a friend or a work associate of mom?
You mean like Jordan Getty's? I'm just going to throw that in. It's almost done.
And dad. Maybe they never thought that this person would do it. But maybe then again, they didn't know the background of the people. What if they had convictions for child molesting, child abduction, the family would never know about? And unless you did the background work as an officer or a detective, you'd never know. All right. Now, so Lily and Jack still missing. Case is still open. It may never be solved. I have no idea. But we're going to go over, and I just got back from the cruise. And that was the Bigfoot Caribbean cruise. And I'm going to talk to you about it. So I hosted 3 dinners.
Who wants to talk?
I guess I'll go first. Liane and Jasmine, I'm gonna have to go after this. I'm sorry about that, but I will make a comment on this. I think this is my first time seeing him, and I think he's incredibly smart, and he seems to be analyzing the situation well, and how he gave 3 options. And I think he's leaning towards parents being involved, that's for sure. But unfortunately, I am going to have to go, but I'll pass it off.
It was great to see you,
Before
Zach. Enjoy your evening. I almost called you Jack. Their energy is with
you... Zach, before you go, we're going to get into Sebastian right now. Do you want to just give us your theory quickly? Do you have 2 minutes for that?
Yeah, I can most definitely do that. Ultimately, I think that the night that Sebastian, the night prior to what they reported him going missing, I think that night, I think he was overly medicated, and that's why Katie mentioned the thud, because I think that is very it's inscribed in her head, in her brain, to remember that, because I think that was the last time that Katie probably saw Sebastian conscious. And then I believe the cover-up started to take place in that 3-hour phone call. And I believe Chris was actually there that night and probably helped get rid of Sebastian on that night. And I know he has been said to have an alibi, but I'm not sure how trustworthy that can be, because anybody can say, you were one place if you know, even if it checks out, there's still ways around it. And I think Chris was there that night helping get rid of him. And I think basically he was overly medicated, and then maybe he wasn't passed away right after, but then Chris probably took him with what I believe was Terry and Kathy Bowersox, and then I think that was the end of it. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. Chris was there. And don't
Yeah.
forget this 3 a.m. car lights. He wasn't due back to be at work in Memphis till 7 a.m. I think it was. So he had time to be there and then get back to work too.
And Kylie had actually asked me a great question, if maybe he'd asked his brother or someone to cover for him or step in for him and maybe hold his phone or whatever. So that's very interesting, because I didn't realize how alike Chris and his brother looked. So maybe the whole family could have knowledge and be complicit, in my opinion.
Hmm. Yeah, interesting. Zach, if you want to go, no worries. Thank you for being here. And yeah, it's a little bit long. Sorry.
All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you for having me. I hope you guys have a good night.
You too.
Bye, Zach.
Bye.
Bye, Zach. For those of you that don't know this case, because a lot of people here don't, just tell you a little bit of it quickly, and then we're going to listen to some at night audio clip that came out. I don't know if you've heard that, Jasmine.
I have.
Yeah.
It raised my
Brutal.
blood pressure listening to it.
Oh my God, Chris just it's like, if I want to have PTSD, I just need to listen to him.
Exactly. He's so scary.
I know he is such a gentleman. I love his energy. He's so cute. He's probably younger than my daughters, he's just young and beginning his life, I know you're younger than me too, Jasmine, but yeah, no, I just wanted to bring awareness, because it just this case was already similar, but we've got Jack and Lily said to be potentially autistic. We know Sebastian was autistic. We've got a stepdad involved in both cases. And we've got the stepdad's family scaring searchers away. And, there's so many interesting similarities. And so Sebastian Rogers, for those of you that don't know, was in Hendersonville. He's from Hendersonville, Tennessee. And same thing, again, no evidence. And same thing, police narrative was from the get-go, nothing to see here. He just walked out the door. There is factually, now we know, because it's been told too many times, that Chris Proudfoot's stepdad has affiliations within the sheriff's office. And exactly like the gentleman from Can-Am said, no evidence in itself is evidence. And it's interesting. So the details are incredible. So he was reported missing the morning of February 26th by his mother. Apparently he vanished overnight and from his house, just like Jack and Lily. And that was February 26, 2024. So we're coming up on almost 2 years of that. And it's Sebastian has visited me a lot, and it's been a very, very, very traumatic case for me. So I'm just getting back to it now. And I also want to start it at the beginning as a psychic, because dealing with my own stuff, I don't know how accurate I was with Sebastian. Definitely not as accurate as I feel like I have been with Jack and Lily. And so we're going to start it over, but we'll start by listening to that clip, and I'll let you see if you have anything first to say. Jasmine, you and Think and I are fine together. It's Zach. If you're on mute.
Yeah, it could be just the difference in our signals or something. I don't
think
hear the echo now.
I think it's because Zach's on his cell phone.
I'm on my phone as well.
Are you?
Yeah, but I've got an iPhone, so they just kind of work better with everything.
Okay. Yeah, I know, Yvonne. I think mom was tired and couldn't take another minute of Sebastian, so she overdosed him on purpose, meaning a little bit more, make him drowsy, but did give him a wee bit too much. Well, and yeah, she heard a thump on the floor, and he does have that. He did have that unusual water on his brain, illness, disease, right? So if he had fallen from being too drowsy, I mean, just the fall alone could have killed him potentially, you know?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Because he had the water and the brain. I don't know what the gene was, but he would be very sensitive to injuries. I kind of
Mhm.
always get he was injured leaving the house, and it does seem like, I don't know, either he was carried and kind of in a sleeping state, or do you kind of see him more being walked out of the house or carried out?
I was channeling a live session when he came in, and he showed me Chris and KP in the, I can still see it to this day during my live, in the corner of the garage where there happened to be an imprint. I didn't find out about till later in the garage door, like a head print. And Chris took a rock and hit him in the back of the head. And then he was laid in the back of her car on a green tarp. And I was channeling that, and I people were like, "Keep going, Liane, and keep going." I was like, I can't see. I cannot keep going." And so I did not keep going beyond that. But yes, there was bite marks on his arms. You're right, Chris's arms. And so I think there was a physical struggle between him and Chris. I believe he knew he was being told at Texas Roadhouse the plan, and he deliberately didn't take his meds because he knew that he was being taken away, and there was a fight. And I think he was knocked out. If he wasn't rendered dead then, he was pretty darn close to it. And I have been reluctant to say that I think he's deceased because I know Seth Rogers, you know, is desperate to not believe that.
Yeah.
But I mean, the only thing that would ever make sense, and that's me being wishful thinking and not probably realistic, is that maybe I've been channeling him telepathically because we don't know, because I have had telepathic communications. But that was with my Reiki teacher at a Reiki retreat, and not with a child that's not experienced. But we don't know the autistic brain, and it definitely operates differently. And in my opinion, autistic kids are special and of a higher vibration. Every single spiritual mentor I've had has an autistic child. Every single person I have studied under has an autistic child. And they're spiritual. And so that's their service, right? Is raising. And so I don't know. I feel like I want to believe, but I think the odds are that he's alive are slim, regrettably.
Yeah. He's a very intuitive soul, and it is their superpower. I mean, I know that the government even studies autistic children and their psychic abilities. And I do think Sebastian is so gifted in so many ways, but they just made everything a problem and blamed it all on him. So his gifts were overlooked. And maybe he felt like he could only be himself around Seth, because it really does concern me that when he was at home with Katie and Chris, he was wearing pull ups. I think even the police not questioning that is very incompetent on their part.
Mhm. Yeah. And they're still running with the narrative, nothing to see here, no evidence, which again, as this gentleman from Can-Am says, no evidence is the evidence. And then Chris came out, for those of you that don't know, and said crazy things at the beginning. Also, like in the case of Jack and Lily, Chris was on YouTube, as was his biological father, Seth Rogers, but Chris was coming out making a mockery of Sebastian. And you're going to hear in the next clip, KP, his biological mom, blaming his bio dad for that. But in my opinion, her husband, the stepdad, was making a mockery of Sebastian, making fun of him, taking like shots at him, saying horrible things about him publicly. And he didn't care for him. It was obvious he didn't care for him. And we also found out, which is also similar to Jack and Lily, we found out afterwards CPS was involved. They had visited the house where Sebastian Rogers lived with his mom and his stepdad a few months before he went disappearing. And what's also interesting in the case of Sebastian Rogers was that the stepdad had a custody battle with his prior wife over his daughter, Faith, coming up. And here they had a looming CPS case over their heads because Sebastian was talking at school and the school was reporting the supposed abuse. So there's so many parallels in these two cases. It's wild. But yeah, Dawn, I don't know what you mean by how many times. I wanted to answer a couple questions before I forget in the chat. Somebody asked about whether you can help as an American in the Canadian case. They cannot bring the FBI in. There's no jurisdiction for that. The RCMP are the Canadian equivalent of the FBI. They are nationwide. So they are as close to federal as you get here. And so as an American, if you want to get involved, just be vocal on YouTube. You can, donate to the searchers if you want. There's things you can do that way. You can speak out if you're upset about how the RCMP, you can complain, are handling the case. But as far as the police agencies in the US getting involved, no, there's no jurisdiction for that. Jasmine, you want to say anything, honey?
No, keep answering questions.
That's what I think.
Sorry, I was reading it. You
Yeah.
work away, Liane.
No, go for it, honey.
Yes, not dead when he left the house, Yvonne, but not coincidence or conscience, but died where they placed him. I feel like he tried with all his strength to get up and walk home. Yeah, it's something about that walk-in energy. It almost seems like I pick up kind of hunting energy, so it's like they brought him somewhere in order to play this sick and twisted game, and I do feel like it was Chris and his family for sure. But I do think, I mean, it would be possible if Sebastian died in the house or in the garage that the police would overlook it, especially since Craddock is friends and connected to Chris. But it seems to me that they'd be smart enough to not, leave the evidence where their doorstep is. I think Chris might have more criminal knowledge than we think, and the right connections can make you get away with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the other thing that they both have in common was stepdad's ex-girlfriends, and in Chris's case, Katie Proudfoot, Sebastian's mom, is his fifth wife, and all the other wives, well, the ones that we've heard from, two of them that have come out publicly, have said that Chris was abusive towards them, is controlling, much like Malaya has said about Daniel. And we've also heard abuse allegations from Daniel from the last girlfriend after Malaya. So it's very interesting, right? Like it's like I would be surprised if this is not a common trait for children with autism and step parents who cannot cope if they have difficulties and challenges coping with an autistic child, because they're hard,
It seems like a pattern, definitely. And it seems like at some point when the mothers are with the wrong men, they become either complacent or complicit with the step parents.
Yeah, which is horrible. Okay, let's listen in. So this was released a few days ago. It's At Night is now Seth Rogers. I have not heard the Seth Rogers video. We're going to play a little bit of it tonight. I won't play it all because that will take us too long. But we're going to listen to this 20-minute clip first before we watch that, so you can get an understanding of Chris Proudfoot. And then I am going to go back from the beginning on this case, and I'm going to start to go back from the beginning, and then I'm going to start to get my intuitive hits from the beginning again, because I feel very lost with this case at the moment. And where he could be, I have not a clue. But so this was released. Seth Rogers has partnered with Dog the Bounty Hunter, and Dog brought in this At Night media group, and they are now looking at all of the leads coming in and trying to find Sebastian and solve this case. So I had to break this up into 2 clips. So the first ones we're going to listen to, they're audio clips, and I just had to tape it on my phone and upload it. So it was downloaded from At Night's X profile. You'll see it here in a second. Let's start with the first clip. It's a few minutes long. We can talk about it, and then I'll upload the second clip. It's just a couple minutes, this one. You can see me in the background. Sorry.
Yesterday. Hi, Katie. What can I do for you? Are you the woman that trespassed my property yesterday? I actually didn't. I walked down your neighbor's property and then down the easement and then up to the other side. That's not an easement. I own that. That's my property.
Okay, so just to be clear first, I didn't explain. Seth Rogers, the dad, hired a private investigator, well, several at the time of this recording. They are no longer involved in the case. This is 50 days after he went missing, February 26, 2024, that this recording is taken. This is the bio dad, Seth Rogers, hired his own PI team, and this is Heather, the PI, 50 days after Sebastian went missing, trying to talk to his biological mother, Katie Proudfoot, and the stepdad, Chris Proudfoot. So now I'll play it.
Hi, Katie. What can I do for you? Are you the woman that trespassed my property yesterday? I actually didn't. I walked down your neighbor's property and then down the easement and then up to the other side. That's not an easement. I own that. That's my property. Well, the fence says no trespassing. I didn't come on the property. That is my property. The easement, that's a public easement. I own it. It's not. I own it. I am here to try to clear you. So I don't need you to clear me. So I don't know why you're being defensive with me.
Okay, so can I ask you a question?
Absolutely.
First, can you identify yourself?
Yeah, I did already. My name's Heather, private investigator.
But you're coming to my house. And you're
I am. I'm investigating the disappearance of your stepson. So do you want him found or no? Because if you do, then why would you have a problem with me coming to talk to you guys?
Well, real simple, because we're asking you questions and you're telling us that you can't answer those questions. So why should we answer any?
I absolutely did not trespass. There's no such thing. There's nothing. There is a such thing as a public easement. It's not posted. I own it. I have signs on. Okay, your fence has a sign. I didn't talk about it. Inside of. Okay, take it up with. If you want to report it to law enforcement, do it. Take it up with them. I am trying to help. Okay, so if you want somebody to help you, that's what I'm doing. Okay, so calm down. Talk to me like civil human beings. I'm trying to help find him. I've been talking to sex offenders in the area. Law enforcement has done that. Okay, and I'm going to do it too because I'm working it too. And I have that right, and the person that hired me has that right. Anybody has that right.
He's also blatantly accusing me of murder when I didn't.
I haven't accused you of shit.
I didn't say you did. I said he did.
Okay, well, I'm trying to decide who is on my radar and who is not. I've talked to sex offenders. That is my focus right now. In my mind, you're not a person of interest, but I'm coming here trying to talk to you.
It's not a good look to trespass either. Like, that's my point.
What it looks like, ma'am.
It's posted all 4 days.
I just came from the TBI headquarters in Jackson, Mississippi.
Honey, I'm going to tell you, as a PI, I have a lot more leeway with things I can do and people I can talk to. And this isn't my first rodeo. I've worked cases like this before. I have gotten information that TBI or law enforcement's not able to get, and I have passed it along, and it has helped the case. I mean, that's all I can tell you.
What have you passed along that's helped this case?
I just started working this case. I haven't even got a chance to talk to you or Katie yet.
Well, here's the thing. You're not talking to her by herself, period.
Okay.
You're not going to talk to my
Okay, fine. Set up an appointment with me. Do you want to do that? I can come back. I mean, I can respect your time. I'm not trying to be this. Whatever. I mean, I really think everybody just needs to calm down. Emotions are high. People are flinging mud, and it's just getting drama and stupid. And that is a terrible disadvantage to Sebastian.
Right, but let me inform you on something. You're not the one being threatened here.
I think everybody's being threatened. Did you know there was a drive-by shooting last?
People being threatened.
Okay. All right. I mean, I don't understand why you guys are coming at me. I didn't do anything to you.
Okay, well, first off, you came to my house the other day.
Yes. Yesterday.
You walked around my fucking property with a videotape and put pictures. You trespassed. They didn't fucking post it all sides of that property.
I mean, the easement between houses is not usually.
I own it. I own half, my neighbors own half, period. That's not public. There are no...
I mean, there's no property lines. There's no way to tell what is...
It's marked. I have stakes.
I mean, can you show me? Because I didn't...
show you all 4 no trespassing signs.
They're on the fence.
You can go on the city and you can look at the property line and you can...
I mean, they're on the fence. I wouldn't jump your fence.
I own it.
half of that is mine, half of that is theirs. That's why they turned it in and they turned it into the police. I'm sorry, what? I think that when there's a no trespassing sign on the fence, that means you.
So we'll finish the little bit in a minute, but that's Chris Proudfoot, and he also was threatening. I find it so ironic to hear this now because just a couple months after that, he was scaring away searchers and threatening to the point where their canine divers had to leave and publicly stated in the media they had to leave because of threats and they didn't feel safe from this guy that was just yelling. Jasmine, go ahead.
Yeah, he likes to threaten everyone and throw his weight around, but I really like that PI and how she handled him. She put him
Yeah.
in his place, at least.
No, I know. And the other thing that's a lie is I was in real estate. There are easements and, maybe not in the back of the property, but, it's like your kid's missing and you want to argue about me being on your property when I'm coming to talk to you about your missing child. It's the most bewildering.
And the fact Chris doesn't want anyone to talk to Katie without him, and he even says so confidently that even the police know not to question Katie without him. I mean, who gave him the run of the case?
Yeah. Well, he's a absolute control freak. Yeah, and I think he's concerned that KP will say something and spill something that's that's, you know,
Yeah.
incriminating by
But it
mistake.
really shouldn't be allowed by the police, or even if the local law enforcement is corrupt for the Proudfoots. What about the FBI? I know they disagree. Um, I don't know if it's TBI in Sumner County, but it's because I feel that the locals are just going with what the Proudfoots are telling them. And at least we can say the TBI are looking a bit deeper.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think I don't know what the laws are in Tennessee. I know in Canada, if Daniel and Malaya had stayed together, they cannot be forced with I don't know if that applies to criminal. I think it does, that they cannot be forced to speak against each other because they are married and in a matrimonial relationship. And I know a lot of people suspected that Chris and KP were not getting along. They were also rumored to be in an open relationship, as are Daniel and Malaya, another coincidence or similarity. And a lot of speculation was made that they didn't have a great marriage potentially, but they stayed together to defend themselves and from not having to incriminate one another in court because they can plead the marital card. Like, in other words, they can put the same defense together. I'm pretty sure that's the case from watching trials, but they're still together as far as we know now. So I haven't heard anything differently. So I'm not sure that that's, a
I have
credible
heard the
reason.
rumors too, though,
What's that? That they
that
were.
they were swingers. And someone did comment recently on a video that apparently there was a rumor going around that Chris was seeing a lady at a bar and he said something about an accident with his stepson, which is interesting that he can talk to complete strangers about Sebastian, but Katie can't talk to PIs who are
Mhm.
trying to find him.
Well, yeah, he had no idea that date of his would put the pieces together, eh?
Yeah, I feel like his ego will be his downfall.
I hope so. I think if it wasn't for his friends in high up places, he'd already be behind bars.
Definitely.
I mean, I would hope, but yeah, let's listen to the rest of the audio and then we'll listen to Seth Rogers, some of it last night, because I feel for him.
Yeah,
I feel
me
for him
too.
so badly. But yeah, let's listen to this some more and then we can discuss it before we watch Seth.
Okay.
PIs don't call people; they show up at their houses. Mm-hmm. It's not public. There are no. I mean, there's no property lines. There's no way to tell what is marked. I have stakes. I mean, can you show me? Because I didn't show you all 4 no trespassing signs. They're on the fence. You can go on the city and you can look at the property line and you can. I mean, they're on the fence. I wouldn't jump your fence. I own it. Half of that is mine, half of that is theirs. That's why they turned it in and they turned it into the police. I'm sorry, what? I think that when there's a no trespassing sign on the fence, that means you don't go into the fence. I'm not going to go into the fence.
Negative. Actually, that's wrong.
Okay, well, I'm not sure how I would know that. All right, well, I'm not really... Yeah, I'm just not really sure how anybody would know that easement is yours.
Stepped out of your car the other day and you walked onto the property. When my neighbor saw you, and my
walked right
neighbor
past
across
your
the
neighbor.
street saw you, turn around. Or they saw you. Now got you on camera, walking your ass through my property, right next to my fucking driveway. You walked past 3 fucking signs, woman. 3. Don't tell me you didn't see them. They're on the fucking fence. You just said it on this camera, and I got news for you. Because you've done that, you have violated trespassing.
I was actually trying to stay on the outside of your property. Okay, well, I don't know how I would know that that's not... Add the detectives into this so that they can see her and find out what she's... I just left the sheriff's department. I've talked to Tim Bailey. I've talked to Sheriff Whitford. I've been talking to all of them. So, anyway...
Okay, well, first off...
But why is this the focus instead of finding Sebastian? It's a waste of time right now. We're arguing over a property line, like when there's a missing child.
We're arguing over a fucking safe.
I'm not showing up here to do anything to you except for find your son.
No.
I'm not a threat to you.
All you had to do was pick up the fucking phone and call us.
That's not how I operate. I talk to people in person. I do.
You're shit at your job.
No, that's not shit at your job. PIs don't call people. They show up at their houses.
Well, I got news for you.
Okay.
Tennessee,
Are you going to set up an appointment with me, or do you just want to keep yelling at me? This is really ridiculous. Like, this is the drama that's a disadvantage to Sebastian. He's not going to be found this way.
Answer my question. What the hell are you going to do to help find our son?
I am knocking on doors, talking to sex offenders.
FBI, Secret Service, TBI.
I am communicating with the I just talked to Tim Bailey, asked him if they talked to the sex offender. They have not talked to the sex offender. He said, I'm free to go do so, which is what I'm doing, okay?
Okay, well, first off, when you come on somebody's property, you're supposed to announce yourself because we haven't posted no trespass. It doesn't matter what your fucking job title is. Well, once it's I try to explain to you. There's no property lines in that entire subdivision. There's no community. No, nothing. Nothing. So where you were walking yesterday.
That is legally impossible because hydro and gas and all the services have I was in real estate and land development and subdivision development for 25 years. My dad was a land developer and a municipal lawyer. You have to have, and the city has to have, access to your property to bring gas and hydro to your property. That is a lie that he just stated. There has to be an easement on that property to bring services in somewhere. And if you legally had to deal with someone like this and you were hydro, could you imagine? Hence why the towns make it a legal requirement that they can access someone's property, or they would be turned down by people like the likes of this whenever they had to do adjustments or repairs on a property. It's absolutely insane. So imagine being married to this piece.
On camera, you're on my property.
But I really wish that you would lighten up a little bit because we are focusing on the wrong thing when we should be focusing on finding Sebastian.
If you want me to lighten up?
I do.
You want me to lighten up?
Yes, sir.
It's real simple.
I will not walk on your property again. I apologize for walking down the easement, what looked like an easement.
You told my neighbor you were hired by the family, and I am the family. So if I didn't hire
that
you,
tells me right there that you're hired by the Rogers family.
But I am not hired to implicate or accuse you. And
I'm not asking you to implicate.
I am trying to find him, so I want to talk to you too.
You'll come find me.
That's what I'm trying to do. I'm here trying to find you.
I'm not hard to find.
Okay, when do you want it? Let's set this up. When do you want to meet? Whenever. We're at Memphis. I'll be in Jackson tomorrow, so I can meet you. I can I can come all the way to Memphis if that's what you require, or you can meet me somewhere in between.
Well, I would prefer you come see me because I work nights. So 9 to 1 when you guys are up, I'm actually sleeping.
Okay, but it's not going to be you and Katie. It's just going to be you.
It would be just me because unless Katie's coming down to see me, well, she can. We have other things that have to happen at the house. It wouldn't be together. The only time we're going to be together might be Sunday, Monday. That's when we might actually be back together again.
Okay, well.
I'm working.
I mean, I'd rather do it both at the same time. I mean, you already said you don't want me talking to your wife without you present. So
Right.
that would
That's
mean,
and you can ask the cops that. They don't show up and talk to her without somebody telling us both. That's
Okay.
just the way this works. That's safety in numbers. I don't trust. Don't take it the wrong way. I don't know.
well, and I mean, we wouldn't know each other. I mean, we have no reason to know each other prior to this. But
But it's not hard to make a phone call and talk to somebody first. Blah, blah, blah.
yeah.
That's fine.
However, my history with cases like this is that, especially with you guys are already defensive.
Right, I understand that. Not everybody in this world is like that. Not everybody is like that. I'm not. I'll be honest, I'm level-headed, I'm very brash, I'm blunt to the point. I've already told the cops this. I don't give a flying fuck what happens to him or what happens to that fucking family.
Yeah.
They did what they did.
Yeah. What would be really great in a perfect world would be if I could calm that down a little bit, because right now, but it's not this isn't helping Sebastian.
It didn't help Sebastian when he aired his trauma. It didn't help Sebastian when he accused his mother of murder. It didn't help Sebastian when he made almost $50,000 on my son going missing.
Who did?
Seth.
Yeah.
Don't know. I didn't know about that. I don't know anything about that.
Every single day he goes on. Internet sleuth.
Let me lay this out for you, okay? They could invest.
Thank him. I tried to work with him.
We were all in my house.
Mm-hmm.
Me, Katie, Seth, and 2 other witnesses in law enforcement. We're in the house.
Yeah.
I brought up, what guys can we do to help with this situation?
Right. Okay.
And when I said, hey, do we need to raise money? Do we need to get some investigators? What do we need? Horses, whatever. We'll do whatever.
Yeah.
They said don't do anything with money because it makes the family look bad and it could turn ugly. Okay, cool. All of us standing in that living room in my house made an agreement that said we were not going to do that.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, so
hold on. Before we go deeper, turn your phone around. Not you, hers. I want to see the face of her phone.
Oh, that she's recording.
You want to see the face of my phone?
Yes.
Let me unlock it.
His conversation.
He thinks she's recording the conversation, and she is. Jasmine, do you want to jump in and say anything before we finish it up?
No, go ahead.
It's not new for anybody here, like, to listen to him that's heard him before, but I know I've got people who don't know this case, and it's probably a little bit jarring for them because
Shocking to hear his foul mouth. Yeah, we're used to it.
oh my God, I couldn't listen to it the other day. I was not in the mood for it. It's like chalk on a board. It's like my body can't even listen to it.
Yeah, I could feel my blood pressure rising, and I just felt so bad for Sebastian having to listen to that.
Could you imagine Sebastian living with this?
And how overstimulated he'd be with all the shouting and the loudness.
Yeah, and he deliberately, when she tries to make a point, and then he dismisses it and keeps bulldozing over her. I find that so interesting.
He wants to dominate everyone, and he's got no respect for women. He's very chauvinistic. Is that the word?
Yeah. And a narcissist. Like, I think he's an absolute narcissist too.
Completely. Yeah.
Okay, let's finish this up and then we'll listen to Seth. This poor boys, poor Sebastian. Yeah, well, Sebastian was forced to wear pull-ups in their presence, apparently. There's rumors that he was forced to sleep in the garage, because he was peeing his bed, and he had no issues with incontinence at Seth's house because he was being traumatized by this man, in my opinion. And he probably displayed signs of regression, which is the case with kids. If they pee their bed, it's often said to be a sign of situations at home that are weighing on them. And I certainly think this was the case in his poor Sebastian's situation. It's horrible. I've heard that. Yeah, you're desensitized. I'm glad you are, Sharon. I'm glad you are. Okay, let's finish it up.
Don't take it the wrong way, but I told you, I don't trust people right now. And people are trying to use shit in however they can. But that conversation in that living room was an agreed upon deal not to do anything with a GoFundMe page and collect money and benefit off of this. And sure as shit, what happened? The very next fucking day, there is a GoFundMe fucking page that's posted. So I'm sorry.
So I didn't understand how he knew that Sebastian wouldn't be found and would need money when my son hadn't been missing 72 hours, and yet he knew he was going to need money to pay his bills that far in advance. That speaks volumes to me. The fact that he can't be bothered to help look for his son in the beginning. The fact that he literally released my son's sensitive trauma issues and blatantly lied about all of the details surrounding it, including the age of the person who did it to him. The fact that he has turned my son missing into some dramatized bullshit for the internet.
Yeah, just so he can profit. And it's sad. It is truly sickening, honestly. It's sickening if he profited off of this.
I don't need to be on television hanging crackers. I don't need to brag that I have done what I have done to help find my son.
Well, I understand how you guys feel about everything.
So you don't push the information to...
Yeah, and listen to the dogs barking. I swear to God, I heard the dogs in one of my visions because there was a fight going on. Oh, I know, they really are. Joyful, it's nice to see you. It's been a while, honey. Yeah, no, it's just I almost don't want to play the rest of it, but at this point, let's just finish it up. But it's yeah, the fact that he's talking like this about and she's talking about Seth making a mockery. I mean, wow, if y'all know some of the things Chris did, which as we follow this case, we're going to go through. I have a spreadsheet of 102 interviews that were done by Chris Bradford. Some of them Seth, but a lot of them Chris and KP, and just coming up on panels. And the things that he said to make a mockery of Sebastian, and here she is putting Seth down. It's like the pot kettle calling the kettle black.
Detective Carter.
I haven't talked to Carter yet. Carter has not gotten back with me. So I had to...
down here with me.
Okay, well, that's good to know. But
The reason why they didn't answer.
yeah.
I know that.
But so yeah. But
Don't take this the wrong way, but why is a PI going on doing internet sleuth interviews?
you know, he contacted me before I was even hired to work the case.
Just,
but yeah,
no
but
offense, I'm just asking.
But no, I mean, I'm not a sleuth. I'm actually a PI.
I didn't call you a sleuth.
Yeah. The sleuth podcast. Yeah. I mean, they asked me for my thoughts on the Sebastian Rogers case, and
so
who is it?
Aware of all of that, and Seth is not doing anything that he hasn't already done to me in the past.
Like, I'm not interested in the drama. I'm not interested in the rumors. I'm going to base my who I think needs to be on the radar based on my interviews, my investigation, not what anybody else says.
So I have a question. You conduct your portion, do your thing.
Mm-hmm.
And we all know the Rogers family has hired you.
Okay.
It is very evident.
Okay.
Because we didn't hire.
They announced it publicly. It's not a secret. I know, but we already know.
There is another PI too, by the way.
I know. There's at least like 3 or 4 of them.
Oh yeah, I will tell you this. You can tell all the PIs, because I know you won't talk.
Yeah, we do.
Because we're sick and tired of being stalked and people coming on our properties. Because that's not just my property. It's theirs. We've worked
We're cool about that. Like,
probably 24 different, I'm the best one, I'm going to crack the case people already. And every last one of them that have talked to us, we have said, you are welcome to come and start from square one. You're not going to find anything that,
well,
250 professionals didn't, but you're welcome to try, because at this point.
I haven't been here since day one when all this went down.
Yeah.
And people don't understand. People can say, well, I understand how you feel when nobody knows how we feel.
Yeah.
Because unless you've lost a child and you've gone through this crap, you don't know. Like, I don't tell people, you don't know shit.
Okay.
You know?
Well, I will tell you. I will tell you that I have only been hired on this case for 2 days.
I will forewarn you. So anything that you get, do you share back to the family?
I'll share what? Share back to the family. Is that what you said?
Yeah, if you anything that you find or you get, share.
It's going to depend if it comes from law enforcement, which is what I told Weatherford. If it's something they share with me that they tell me, because I understand that there are some things that don't need to be in the public, and if it's Answer their question. Are you going to give them information back? Yes or no? I mean, it's real simple. Depending on what it is. If it's something I can share with them, yes, I will share it with them. I will say this, I wish you the best of luck. I hope you find some. I hope you get some. Truly. I truly do. I hope you can find, I don't give a shit what it is, piece of evidence or something that will move something in one direction. Right. I will tell you this. There is no chance Seth Rogers or the Roger family is going to reach out and contact us, and there's going to be reciprocating phone calls because it ain't happening right now. There doesn't need to be phone calls between you guys. The only way that's going to happen, he ain't going to do it. He ain't going to do it. Yeah. It's real simple. So, and I mean, unfortunately, he's made his bed, he's going to lie. You know? I mean, it is what it is.
I tried, 4 different times to get him to interview with me.
It seems like y'all were somewhat cordial in the beginning.
We were.
He have been very cordial. I've got proof of shit that where he's running his mouth that he didn't talk to me and all this. I got phone records where I have had hour-long conversations.
When he said that Hayat spoke to him, that we refused to speak to him for 2 weeks, he was on the phone with them for long periods of time. Damn near every day at that point. Welcome to
They were welcome in the house. It was fine.
Mm-hmm.
And what was your name again?
This is what they told us about you too.
Well, everybody and I'm being honest, everybody on fucking Facebook, all this YouTube, all this TikTok, all this bullshit, they could take those fucking shows and stick them so far up their asses, and I hope they show up.
Yeah.
Boy, there ain't a fucking one of them out there that have sit here and run us through the fucking dirt.
Yeah.
I wouldn't piss on them if they were on fire.
But we're so unhinged that they found some lady that has the same name as me that murdered her child, I guess, in the early 2000s, and they're trying to say that that's me.
That's the problem with sleuths that don't have access to actual databases, is that a lot of these Truth Finder and all those the public access ones, there's mixed information.
Let me ask you this. You're going after sex offenders.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously.
Right. That's
You have the access to scan the dark web for trafficking?
Yeah. I can get that done. Not me personally, but I know somebody, yeah.
Do it.
Okay.
Please. I mean, you're not more for me, but...
Yeah, no, but is that how you feel? That's what you think is going on?
Everybody keeps talking about trafficking and trafficking and trafficking, and they just found 11 missing kids, and everybody's going after this whole sex offender bullshit. So if there's anything to it and someone took him and it's trafficking, where would they go?
Right.
Because if he were within 5 miles of this house, there's no chance that he wouldn't have been found. None. Because I know every single group, agency, technology...
Yeah,
everything that was brought in, there's no chance he was within 5 miles of this house.
Okay.
It was done over and over and over, and they used heat sinking, they used FLIR, they used vision, they used night. I mean, they did. They did. If you can name it, they did it, and they did it in multiple ways. I don't think he's that close to home, unless he's in a basement. I was begging them to search farther.
Okay.
This area has been canvassed.
Okay. Yeah. I'm a mom too, baby. I get it. I do. I have a 15-year-old son as well. You're doing a good job of keeping yourself together, which some people interpret badly. Well, I'll be honest with you. Every one of them spineless cowards ain't got the fucking balls to come over, haul, ain't got nothing. All they got is the keyboard to put out there. Oh, yeah. Bullshit stories.
I wasn't trying to be hateful. It's just, there's so many people.
So do you plan on releasing any of the footage and pictures that you took of the house? No. That's for me. That's for my file.
There's not an inch of my house inside or out that hasn't been publicly posted. So you can find it. It's easy.
Yeah. I mean, the pictures, regardless, you can find the pictures of every angle.
Yeah.
On Sil.
I'm sure.
Well, I will say this much. Before you make that trip to Memphis, I need to
make sure, one, I'll be able to have the time to actually sit down and talk, because we have concrete floors, a chicken club, and those hours are longer than normal. So I don't want to sit up there and waste your time and your energy or your gas and stuff coming down here if I can't actually be to sit down. Hey, let me get your guys' phone numbers, and can I just call you when I'm in Jackson tomorrow? Send me a text. Okay, what's your number? 83. Okay, and Katie, what's your number? Just send me a text right now with your name so I know. If not, I'll be like, yeah, okay, I will. Yeah.
Ironically, they don't bark much. I just gave them a bone. I give them each a bone, and then one of them puts it down and barks at the other for the bone that the other one has.
All right, you both have my phone number now.
There we have it. Wasn't that joyful? What do you think? Anybody? Jasmine, go ahead, and then we're going to start stats.
Very joyful. And I'm just reading the comment here. In my dream, he was in a ceiling that was painted white and all the walls were white. Maybe just a random dream. But I think you could be onto something there, because I do think maybe plaster or concrete could be a good place to hide, especially with Chris and his family being so into construction and, you know, owning construction companies too.
Yeah, and didn't Chris say something about how many bags of cement it takes to bury a body?
Yeah, it's like he was mocking. He's very like that. He
Oh, yeah.
likes to brag about it.
Well, yeah, he made statements like, "Oh, you guys are going to be studying this for years," and the
And the
only good,
best part is he left no evidence
yeah,
behind. He's so
and
blatant.
the best part of it was he left no evidence behind. That is killer, right? Like
Yeah, and
wild.
then do you remember when he was saying, I'm not privy to that information? And he kept saying that instead of privy. And I was wondering if that was a Freudian slip.
I'm not a perv in that
Yeah,
way.
exactly.
Oh my God. We're going to only watch a bit of this because I want, for everybody new here who doesn't know of Seth Rogers, I want to give Seth a
He
channel.
does call Chris out, and I did catch half of it, I think, when he was live the other night, and he really did call him out, and I was happy to see that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
please, which was good.
Yeah. I don't know. Let me just put the link here if I can, because I forgot. I really want to make sure that we support Seth, who's got his own channel now. So I want you guys to finish, those that are interested in this case who haven't listened, go sub up to Seth's channel. He's got some merch for sale now. And we'll listen to part of it, but I don't want to disrespect him because I would prefer, if you want to hear it all, that you go listen there. So let's listen for a bit. I haven't heard any of it yet. I was too upset. He went live the day after I had the upsetting conversation with the RCMP. And I think I was just like, I'm done. So let's listen for a minute.
This evening. Hope everybody's doing fine. Sometimes I wish I could call. Let me do this real quick. Come over here and meet that. Everybody can hear me fine?
Just so sad for him. Thanks, Donna. I'm glad to see he has a Christmas tree up.
Yeah, it's nice to see that, you know, he's still finding reasons
I want to
to
thank
celebrate.
everybody for coming into my life today. There's been some things going on. There's been a lot of horrible things going on YouTube as of late.
I think you're right, Donna. I think you're right. I was going to say that.
Things. Some of the stuff I'm not even going to address. It's disgusting. Awesome. Thank you. Ellie Power, sorry. I'm trying to get things. I haven't been on there in a while, obviously. There's several YouTubers out there. I want to thank for keeping Sebastian's name going out there. I know you guys haven't seen me for a while. And I do appreciate everybody that's been handing out flyers, continuing to talk about Sebastian. I continue to ask people to hand out flyers because that's been my main thing, to ask everybody, hand out flyers, continue to talk about him, keep your eyes open. He is out there. The only goal that I have is to find my son and to bring him home. There are a few things that I do want to address. The people using my name, sending my name out in emails and stuff without addressing it with me. Anybody that's doing that, they should be talking with me first. I just want this to be a record that not everybody's speaking with me. People using my son's name to be a promotion to do something, if they are not speaking with me or my son's mother, and prefer they're speaking with both of us, or if they're doing some type of event that they are having either Katie Lynn Proudfoot or me, Seth Robert Rogers, at the event, to make sure that it is properly done. And when I say properly, that we're there to make sure that it is being done, that it's probably not an official type of thing. If people are going to be doing that sort of stuff, please make sure that you're obeying by the laws. You know, I'm not.
And this is what I just want to say, this is when Jen was up on the panel with me, and they, you know, people were trying to get all antsy about getting into, you know, sending emails out to homes and stuff. I was saying at the time, no. I think you need to get permission from the parents. You are not getting my permission. I'm saying it right here, right now. You are not getting my permission to send anything out on behalf of Seth Rogers or his mother without discussing, well, I didn't actually mention KP, but without discussing it with Seth Rogers first. And this is exactly why. He is not giving people permission to go out there and use his name or his son's name for all these events without talking to him first. So I'm glad I was calling it the right way, and I hope nobody ever does anything like that on, you know, on this channel or from this channel without talking to Seth first. Because yeah, it doesn't need to come back on him, and it's just been a shit show in this case, I guess, for lack of a better word. So yeah, anyways, let's keep listening for a few minutes.
For any type of vandalism, violence, or any of that sort of stuff. No trespassing, no impeding people's way to their work, no trespassing on people's property, not interfering with people getting to work, not violating people's spaces, not trespassing on their property. I heard something about somebody doing something on Sebastian's birthday. I have not been made aware of this. I don't know if Katie has been made aware of this, but whatever you're doing, please do not be harassing Chris and Katie at their house. Even if it is true that I heard that they don't even live there anymore and they have somebody else living there, do not be harassing Chris and Katie's neighbors. Yes, Sebastian resided there, but he also resided here. People drive up and down this, take pictures of my house. I've had people come to my house. You come here and you ask for flyers and stuff, and I will give them to you. I do not have a problem with that. Chris does have a problem with people coming to his house. Chris has a problem with that. Katie has a problem with that. I do not have a problem with people coming to ask me for flyers and stuff. I have no problem with that. I have no problem with people looking for my son. I want my son found. I can only speak for myself. I do not speak for anybody else. Let it be clear. I want my son found. I speak for myself. I have flyers if people need them, and I have no problem handing flyers to people to spread that at all. Now, I have a problem for people speaking for me. People say that they do speak for me. Not everybody speaks for me. I speak for myself. There were some emails that were sent for a previous event, an organization. I went to that event. Me and several other people went to that event. I enjoyed the event. I spoke with several people at the event. The community has not forgotten that Sebastian is missing. The people that were serving food were a lot of Sebastian's classmates. People that were there with the organization that were doing the event know that Sebastian was missing. The only reason I wanted to go was to let them know that I was there representing Sebastian. I wanted them to know that as his father, I was still there because Sebastian was part of that. And I wanted them to know that I was there. And I appreciate the fact that they knew who I was and that Sebastian has not been forgotten. And I appreciate Hendersonville for understanding where I am coming from and that my son is my life. And I appreciate the fact that they know that I was there. And I appreciate them understanding that I felt it when I was walking through there. That's Sebastian's dad. I heard that a lot. And then I heard the conversations that they were having about Sebastian after they saw me. I was there wearing Sebastian shirts. And I heard them having conversations about Sebastian. And that is what touched me. Because my son is not here. I have a problem with people in there, in that community. That problem happens to be the sheriff's department. That problem happens to be the DA's office. These are people, I believe, that are not doing their job the way they should have done their job. Because my son has not been found. It's not with the individual people in the community. I know people in the community know that Sebastian is missing. And I know that they are wanting Sebastian found individually. I would love for the sheriff's department to grow a set and have some responsibility. And I'd like them to actually speak about my son, not say what they're doing, but actually speak about what they have done, not what they are doing, but what they have done, or even come out and speak and state that they are still working on it. But instead, they will not even do that. They're keeping it so tight-lipped that it seems that they're not doing anything. And to bring that up, I would like to know why it is that Brandon Carter, the one detective on the case, which I have multiple text messages from this person, states that he is the only detective on the case as of now because they have gotten rid of Tim Bailey because he has retired last year. They never put any more people on the case, but I have multiple text messages stating that he's busy in court on other cases, which state that he is not even only working on Sebastian's case. He is just a detective that is working on Sebastian's case, which means he is a detective with multiple cases, and Sebastian is just one of the cases that he is on.
Well, that's exactly what I heard from the RCMP the other day. So it's not uncommon, apparently.
And he does not even have the integrity to tell the truth. That's the kind of stuff that leads to, it just leads to me believing nothing that comes out of his mouth. When you sit there and lie over and over and over again, and I start catching you in a lie over and over, and it's not just one lie, it's multiple lies, at which point in time do you actually think that I'm going to believe any of your lies, Brandon? Somebody in law enforcement, you're supposed to represent the badge does not represent you. Catch you in too many lies, you're just a criminal. You're just the person that uses the badge to get whatever you want.
And for those that don't know, Seth Rogers is a guard at a prison. So he is also a sheriff for Tennessee. We're going to listen to just a few more minutes, Jasmine, and then you and I can wrap up with our thoughts, because I want to just listen to a bit more and then send everybody there. Like, I will watch it there on his stream, because I want him to get the benefit of it, you know?
Which makes you just about as useful as a holy blanket. I don't know what your protocol is in Sumner County for only having one detective on the case, but when you have only one detective on multiple cases, every case is going to suffer, which then leads to resources. You have a sheriff that's asking for multiple resources, and he's asking for more resources to pay his people, but then he's turning around and he's asking the city for $223,000, I believe is what he asked for at the last city meeting, so that he can turn around and rebuild his office. Buddy, you should be working out of a tent to solve cases before you worry about the roof over your head. 2 years now is what we're coming up on, and you won't even do a proper. You won't even do a proper TV interview for my son. You can't even put his picture up when you sit there and speak about him. You guys don't do a proper scene. My son went missing, and you guys immediately 8 days. You guys want to sit there and you call in so many different counties, but the scene was handled horribly. You treat it as a runaway, but you don't even know if it's a runaway or not. How many days did it take for y'all to turn around and get, not public announcement, it's a press conference? Thank you. Sorry, my brain has been running 24/7 so long that half the time I don't know if it's day or night, or, you know, I'm confused by the fact that they don't follow protocol for any of the stuff that they're supposed to be doing. I'm confused by what I see on the internet. I mean, there's a child missing, and I see true crime people putting my son's name in the titles of their videos, and they're making fun of other YouTubers. Hey, if you want to do that, that's all fine. Take my son's name out of it, though. Have a little respect for a missing child. My son's name is not in this title. It's just been too long, because there's a lot of stuff that's just been too long. You know, there's just a lot of stuff that's just been too long. There's been too long. Been too long. Let's go with been too long. How about it's been too long since I've seen my son? It's been too long since I've been able to talk to my ex-wife about my son. How about it took 9 months, Katie, for you carrying our son, all right, 9 months, over 9 months, because Sebastian was late. It was more than 9 months that you carried him, because Sebastian was late. Sebastian was born on December 7th, 2008, and he was 5 days late. 5 days late. All right, 5 days late. So many complications, and I was there with you for every one of them. And I was there with you for the whole pregnancy, babe. I'm sorry.
Babe, wow, that was a Freudian slip. That was interesting. I haven't heard this before. I'm going to leave it on that, because I have felt that he still loves KP in some weird way. And she left him, from what I understand. She and CP were having, and from what I put together, not just my own opinion here, potentially met before they separated at work, because KP and CP were in the Navy together, but I could be wrong. But that's sort of the impression I get.
That alludes to that in the live, I think. So I think you could be right about that.
Oh, does it? Okay.
Yeah.
But did you hear him say babe?
Yeah, and I totally missed that the first time, and it's so sad.
Yeah, it is sad. It is so sad. Do you want to say your last words? I appreciate it's like 11 o'clock your time, honey, and I'm going to wrap this up
Yeah,
right
I'm
now.
gonna go to bed now in a few minutes.
Yeah,
So
I
thank you
know.
for having me. I really
You're
appreciate
welcome.
it.
You're welcome. I'm gonna try to go earlier because this week I've done my lives earlier, like at 11 a.m., which would be 4 o'clock your time. I don't know if
Yeah.
that's too early for you, but I've had more people showing up than at this time, which is so interesting because anyway, so I might try to do a few earlier, which would be better for you too if you want to.
Yeah, definitely. Let me
We'll
know
talk.
anyway.
Okay, honey. Yeah, we'll talk. And I'm not going to do any more readings or anything until tomorrow because I need to get sleep.
Yeah, same here.
Oh, Jasmine, you're so sweet. Thank you,
And
honey.
same to you. Thank you. And thank you, everyone. Thank you, Donna. And I
Yes.
will see you all very soon.
Yes, and go subscribe to Crazy Cat Tarot, please. Jasmine's Crazy Cat Tarot. I think Donna's put the link up a few times. Thank you, Jasmine.
Bye.
Bye, honey. Yeah, everybody, I'm going to call it now, and I will be on live Thursday. I check it with time. I'm not sure. Jasmine and Zach may join us. I don't really know at this point, but I do want to cover Gus Lamont a little bit. Melody, thank you, Donna. Melody, Buzzards updates, and any Jack and Lily and Sebastian updates. But yeah, and we are gonna do streams where we just go back to just going back to the beginning with Sebastian Rogers. So yeah, thank you everybody for being here. Look out for, you've been subscribed to her for quite a while. Love her. I know, Joyful. She's got the most amazing energy. She's so sweet. And Zach too. Like I really, really enjoy their energy and their personalities and their talents and the collaboration with them. Today was a little different. The first time we got together, we talked more about specifically our thoughts on each case, but I just was too tired to get that kind of organization going today. So it was a lot more of just watching and getting updated today. Dolly the other day tells a lot of true colors about Seth and why he's a lot of guilt. Did he? I think Seth has guilt for sure, but I don't think Seth has an iota of culpability in Sebastian Rogers. There's no way, in my opinion, but thank you, sweetie. You're welcome, Dion. So yeah, you're welcome, Miss Sharon. So I will be back Thursday live, Friday live, Saturday morning, and Sunday night. So Thursday, not tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be a couple of readings I'm going to put up. Jack and Lily, might do Sebastian. I don't really know, but I want to get Ethan, Dylan Ethler rather, out from Nova Scotia done, and I also want Amy Bradley in the cruise. So I'm going to do those 2 readings at the very minimum for tomorrow. Probably no more than 2 tomorrow. And I will be back live. I just don't know exact times. It will depend on whether Jasmine's joining, but I'm going to try to go earlier. Thursday and Friday, Saturday morning, I think at 11, and Sunday evening. Okay, everybody? So look out for the readings in the week between tomorrow and then. And we'll see you on the next live. And thank you so much, everybody, for being here, because I truly want you to know when I was crying the other day, because I felt so sad for these kids and the people, the cops that, like Seth's talking about, that just seem to be complacent and don't really care. And they've got, I don't know, just shouldn't be working missing kids cases, in my opinion, because they don't have enough compassion for it, because it's brutal work. I just thank you for you guys being here, because I don't know how Seth Rogers does it. I don't know how Belinda gets up every day. I don't know how the parents that are missing kids do this. I find it traumatic, and I wouldn't be able to do it with you guys not being here and supporting me. So thank you, everybody who's here, who shows up and supports us on this mission. You're welcome, Yvonne. You're welcome, sweetie. Yeah, I'm going to try to go a little bit earlier for sure, like I said, because I find it hard emotionally, and I can't sleep when I end at 7 or 8 o'clock at night. I can't unwind fast enough. So it's very self-serving that I want to go earlier, because I haven't slept properly in a month, and I just cannot keep this up. Because I can't do readings and channel when I'm exhausted. So everybody, I thank you for being here. Please, 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 please go support Seth. He needs it. And like his channel, subscribe, and listen to the rest of this title, It's Been Too Long, from Seth Rogers. And we'll see you all soon. And yes, we are. You're welcome, Krista. Thank you, Donna and Krista, for being here. And yes, to all the mods that have been here and who are also supporting me. I love y'all. And thank you. And we will see you all Thursday sometime on the live. Just look for the notifications. Love and light, everybody. Cheers.